Choo-cha.
It's time for Midnight's Edge after. Look at this. He does this every fucking time. Hey, Mike.
Mikey.
Okay, so before we go live, I'd like to announce that tonight we'll be promoting Mexican Iron Man OnlyFans page.
Okay.
It's going to be an edition. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to have
Good evening, Mike. We were actually waiting for you. We were like, fuck it. I thought you were going to be another 15 minutes, so we went live. And here you are. So welcome, Mike. How you doing?
Hi, Mikey.
Great. Let's go live.
Wait,
we're live.
Oh, I missed the opening music?
You did.
Oh, that's my favorite.
And you missed the Ewok saying choo-cha.
I hate Ewoks anyways.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. And then we also have with us, speaking of Ewoks, because he has flowing hair, unlike Ewoks who have short hair, Culture Casino. How you doing? He's like a Wookiee.
Greetings. Well, thank you. Yeah, right now with the beard, I will accept a Wookiee. Yeah.
You ever hear how George, he's like telling about how he came up with the Ewoks? It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you know, in the original story, I wanted Wookiees to actually help take down the Empire, but when I actually made the co-pilot a Wookiee, I had to come up with something else for Return of the Jedi, so I cut him in half, gave him short hair instead of long hair, and took the E at the end and put it at the beginning and called them Ewoks. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Wookiees became Ewoks.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Pretty much. In the first draft of Star Wars, there was two characters named Chewie. There was one that was human that was killed at the first attack of the Star Destroyer, which wasn't called the Death Star at the time, and then there was a Wookiee named Chewie. That was part of the Wookiees that kidnapped the Princess of Aqualay, memory serves.
Yeah, so that's Script Doctor, of course, who I knew would back me up on that, and that's the short version I told, but he told the more in-depth version. But yeah, and speaking of Star Wars, one of the biggest Star Wars fans I know, Six, how are you doing tonight?
I'm really good. I was just shoveling down the last bite of my dinner.
That's
I'm so
all
used
right.
to Culture's like 17-minute intros that I thought I had a little bit more time.
Wow.
Here's the thing.
So,
here is the thing.
Have you seen Culture's latest video? Have you seen any of his like more like he has a new set design? Have you seen that?
oh, I've seen that.
And
With
so
the
what it does,
globe
it's like
spinning behind
this.
him.
It starts, it pans out, and then it zeroes in, and then it gets closer. Like, hello, I'm Culture Casino.
Right. I don't know if it's that close, Mike, but yeah.
And then it has the logo on his chair, like right in the center. Is that a sponsor?
He thinks he's like
Are you
Rush
sponsored
Limbaugh
now?
or something.
Yeah, no, he wants to be like Culture's going to be like the Alex Casino Jones.
Yeah,
I would love that, actually.
I will eat your ass.
Well, I probably won't say things like that, but I will.
I'll eat your neighbor's ass.
Well, yeah, that's probably more like it.
This will be Culture trying to be like, and the frogs, they're going to watch Netflix, beep, and they're going to do, beep.
They're turning the frogs gay.
Wow.
They're turning the frogs gay. My beep's not working. Come on, stupid thing.
This thing?
Yeah, it was working, and then it quit working. I don't know what happened here. I gotta reload everything.
Did my beep play? I played the...
Your beep still played. Mine didn't, though.
Right.
Because my thing's mucked up, and then I got... If I reset it right now, I can't talk for like 20 seconds. But I'll pass the baton to Nick. How you doing, Nick Weiser?
Tom, I'm doing, man. Especially now I got my Ninja Turtles blimp, and I've been listening to Rocky montage music all day. Feels good to be here on Mead with you, Six, Script, Mike, and Culture. So I'm ready to rock and roll. We got a fun bevy of topics to talk about. Hail to the chat. Make sure you guys rub that thumbs up button the right way. And Tom, thank you for having me on, sir.
He was resetting.
And meanwhile, Weewall is resetting. Yeah, clobbering times in as well.
Well, hey there. Sorry I'm late, folks. Just got in.
Dude, you're like 5 minutes in. We lost Tom. Well,
Hello.
There's Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, it takes me about 15, 20 seconds to reset the audio thing, but now it works.
Hey.
See? Welcome, Clobby. How you doing?
Thank you, sir. Sorry I'm late. Like I was saying, I just got home. But hello, my friends. Hello there, lovely six. Hey, Culture,
Hi, Cloudy.
Sir, good to see you.
Script, and Nicholas. And look who's here. Mexican Iron Flash.
Hey,
Oh,
Hey, at least he's not Ezra.
that's true.
Whoa.
Woo!
Mike is much better than Ezra.
He is.
so much
I assume
Oh,
there's
you
got
know
to be.
what, Culture? I saw that. That was a low blow. See, by saying that, it sounds like a compliment, but it's really backhanded compliment because it doesn't take
Whoa.
much to be better than Ezra. I saw that, Culture. I see what you're doing. You can't
It's
fool
a-
me.
It's a good double entendre.
Yeah, or triple in this case.
No, it's
It
called
works.
it's called a backhanded compliment. I know
Whoa.
because I used them on dates before.
It's better than a
Okay.
backdoor. It's better than a backdoor compliment, Mikey.
Oh, man.
Actually, I mean, if somebody said I had a nice butt, I'd be happy.
That's not what I'm here for today.
Instead of my flat Irish thing I got.
Why don't you stand up and show us, Tom?
No,
Oh, my.
Why?
nobody wants to see that.
I wanna
Nobody
see
wants to see that.
I
Even
know.
those who think they want to see it, like Six, don't really want to see it.
I
No,
really want to see it.
No.
no, you don't.
Oh my goodness, it's a full panel tonight. We have
Holy
Renegade joining us as well.
shit!
Look,
Look
it's
who's
the
here.
star. It's the big YouTuber
Oh
himself,
yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even know he remembered.
Mr. 10K.
I'm not worthy. I am not worthy.
Hang on. Noun culture.
Wow.
But wait, I gotta do it. I gotta do it right. So when the framing comes in, instead of me being here, I have to be here.
Right. So you
I
can
thought
see
it
the
was.
rest
I
of
thought
it.
it was Warwick Davis. I was watching earlier on the show. So no.
Culture wants to kill you right now. Like first he wanted to kill me, now he's gonna kill you. Look,
All
it's
right,
Fire
all
Renegade.
joking aside, I like the new format. I like the zoom in. I actually had in my mind, I figured it's like one of these days when I have a room big enough, I was going to do that because I used to do that with some of the video work that I did where we do those, kind of pan in shots. I wish I had the space to do it. When Culture did it, I was like, I like it. I like the idea. I just want him framed up into it a little bit.
I'm actually working on that. I mean,
Yeah.
Grant and I have been working on this for a while, redesign and all of that, and he pretty much nailed it. I have to reposition the camera, and I can move the camera back another 6 feet if I have to. So that's what it's going to take. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
like
Sure.
your whole body was in the lower third of the
I know, I'm
frame,
like-
which was like,
How?
yeah.
He's a little guy. Just a little guy. This is one of my favorite lines from Bill and Ted. Don't overlook my butter. Reaping burns lots of calories.
Culture even got like a new chair. It looks like.
Oh no, this is he's just doing something with it. I mean, it's a cyberpunk chair. So
All right. Well, we got a couple of super chats here. We're going to get started. We got Gabriel Knight who says, please know, I hope they leave Beverly Hills Cop alone. We don't need to see another beloved movie franchise destroyed in this dark age of cinema. Well, we're going to get into that. That's the top story tonight. Then we got Waltman who says, really? Amber Heard book deal. Unrelated note, Twitter's board of directors has officially approved the Musk buyout and has advised all shareholders to vote yes on the matter. Interesting. On the first thing, yeah, that's all she's got left. And the second thing, that's interesting turn of events. We'll see how that rolls. Anybody got anything to say about that?
I'm sure the word went out behind the scenes. Vote yes, or your ass is gonna get canned and fired after the fact.
that's actually true.
Get on
More or
board
less.
now, or get on. The time for opposition has passed. Get on board now,
Yeah.
or risk becoming identified as the enemy of the new sea of change.
They want to approve it while they still have an offer on the table. I mean, those proxies
Exactly.
would have gone out a while ago. Now, whether or not that stays the way it is or there's going to be adjustments to be made with yet to be seen. This is going to be a fun one.
I have somebody here who wants to make a little announcement.
Oh.
This thing on. Welcome back to the days of cocaine and capitalism. Go.
All
Oh
right.
God, Valiant, your mic's a little soft.
All right, hang on.
Wow, you have really long arms if you can reach his mic.
How about now?
Yep, perfect.
That was good culture. That was actually pretty good.
I've got two settings I need to get used to. One from when I'm recording, I record at a lower volume, and then another one I've got to crank it up for StreamYard because
How about
StreamYard
the
gets
setting where
stupid.
can you have a setting for culture not making fun of me on the live stream?
I don't have that setting.
I've been trying to get you on a late night culture stream where it would just be non.
You guys were streaming at 2 a.m. between midnight and 2 a.m.
Yeah, he's a day person.
I know for you West Coast people, you're like, oh geez, it's late night. We're doing a live stream between 7 and 10. Well, guess what? When you start that late, that's like between 1 and 3 in the morning on the East Coast, buddy.
And then Mark wants to know, is 54.20 the final price of the share? I don't know what they ended up figuring on.
Something.
I think it's a lot lower than what you actually expect.
Yeah, I was going to say. I thought it was. And yes, it's Neil's birthday. Happy birthday, Neil.
Birthday, Neil.
One of our Facebook mods and a good friend of the channel. Or used to be a Facebook mod. I don't think he is anymore because he was going off on his own things. That's true. But always a good friend of the channel, of course. And with that, let's get into our first story of the day. I was looking forward to Beverly Hills Cop 4. I'm a huge Beverly Hills Cop fan. I'm even one of those people who kind of sticks up for the third film at time.
Oh, me too.
From time to time.
Me too.
Now, via that hashtag show, we have a little bit more info on Beverly Hills Cop 4, which is about to enter production, according to this. The film has changed directors recently, with Mark Malloy taking over the project. Now we can exclusively reveal that Beverly Hills Cop 4 will begin production on August 29th, 2022 in Los Angeles. This is good news. The film comes from Jerry Bruckheimer, who didn't produce Part 3, but of course was one of the co-producers of the first two films, along with Don Simpson. And it is written by Will Beal. I don't know what he has done, but it probably might be worth checking into. It'll see the return of Eddie Murphy to the role of Axel Foley. At this time, though, that sounds like the only person who's returning. In addition to the production date, we have some exclusive information about the plot, synopsis, and supporting characters of Beverly Hills Cop 4. According to their sources, the film will see Axel Foley return to Beverly Hills once again. Keep doing that. After he gets a phone call from an old friend about his estranged daughter, Jane.
Bad dad already.
Uh-oh. Do you guys want to know who Will Beal is?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Do we want to know?
He's one of the story architects to Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Okay.
He's one of the story by guys to Aquaman. He's worked on the television series Training Day. And he also was a writer on Castle for a short time.
Well, basically, we got the same premises coming to America with the number 2 in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
We're moving on here. Jane Foley makes new enemies and teams up with his daughter and her ex-boyfriend, Detective Bobby Tapia. Once there, he takes on drug cartels and conspiracy inside the Beverly Hills Police Department. Why is he dealing with drugs? He's in fucking theft. He's in
robbery, homicide.
Robbery, homicide. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Right. Thank you. What the fuck is he dealing with drugs for? That new plot is exciting enough for the likes of Foley. We also have descriptions of some of the new supporting characters. Here we go. Nobody's coming back from the original. Why tease us with a fucking picture like that?
Yeah.
This is the boyfriend.
Here's
Bobby.
What you're not getting.
Yeah, right? Bobby is described as in his 30s. Okay, here's the other thing is, how old is this daughter? It has only been...
in her 30s.
This is bullshit. 30s, yeah. So who's the mom?
Oh, the white chick from the first Beverly Hills Cop.
Bullshit. They never got together. They were just friends.
They were friends.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't have a love interest in the second film.
Well, the
third film he did, though. And she'd only be 20 then, if that's the case. And why has she got to be estranged? Why can't he just have a fucking daughter or a son?
The third film was done in the mid-90s. She'd be like pushing 30 anyways.
94.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that'd be 20.
Well, she's got to be estranged, though. Yeah. So let's even say if she is that daughter, why is she estranged?
Because that's
because of Hollywood.
What they always do.
Because you have to be like, well, where was she before?
Well, the sad part...
Can no one say that... Okay, I'll say it. Because they got to portray that he's a deadbeat dad and he didn't live up to his responsibilities or something.
Exactly.
Isn't that kind of a dangerous black stereotype?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
God, you guys are like
dancing
around it.
The context is he really a deadbeat dad, or did the mother just never tell him and then decided to try and live on her own, like a huge pro-feminist woman? So basically, she robbed him of a life with a child.
So we get to Coming to America 2 treatment again. That's what I'm saying.
The mother is now moved up to the CEO of Wally World.
Yeah.
No, the daughter will come in there.
Where happiness is
and
king.
I'm sorry,
she-
Wonderworld.
She's gonna be better at her dad, Axel Foley. He's gonna look like a has-been, and she's just gonna do everything so much better. Say you were never good at this anyway.
I'm not even. Okay, let's get into this real quick before I start fucking ranting, because I'm like a little fucking teapot ready to blow right now.
You should.
Detective Bobby Tapia is described as a 30s Latin, modern, healthy, youthful, and a bit arrogant. So he's about like Eddie Murphy, basically, is what you're saying.
Or like
he's
Mexican Iron Man.
Or wow, that's true. He's more like Mexican Iron Man. He's from East LA and by the book as they come. Okay, so that party's not like Foley. He clashes with Foley, is very buttoned up, and he doesn't take risks. Okay, so he's basically Rosewood Jr. Yeah, okay. He's searching for the truth and hopes to rekindle things with Jane. Bobby teams up with Axel because he's the only shot he has at solving his case. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's listed as one of the leads. Cade Grant, listed as a flashy supporting character. Cade is in his 50s, 60s, and white, confident, cunning, suave, perfect teeth. He's the new police captain in Beverly Hills, which should be Rosewood. He looks more like a dentist than a cop, egotistical, self-preserving member of law enforcement that runs a private security business that covers its strength. He has incredibly fragile ego that refuses to be challenged. Okay. Ashley is in her 40s, any ethnicity, beautiful, arrogant, and self-important. A strong whammons! With a commanding Beverly Hills presence. She's a real estate agent that has a close working relationship with Cade Grant. Think more criminal power couple than just work friends. She's judgmental, ambitious, highly questions why Axel and Jane Foley are at one of her open houses. Beck is in her 40s, any ethnicity. He's Grant's right-hand man with an iron fist, lethal, powerful, and an abject lack of morals, and he goes to great lengths to get rid of Axel in any way possible. Matt Tyler is a successful, high-powered lawyer who happens to be Jane's fiance. Axel wonders why Jane picked this guy. He's stylish, clean-cut, and perfect on paper. That slowly unravels to show lawful and judgment. So he's going to be involved with the bad guys. Sylvia and Kurtz, these are private security guards for Beck and Grant. They act as muscle that Axel has to outsmart and outwit throughout the film. Try brute force their way through any problem supposed to be 30s, 40s, and ethnicity. Receptionist. This seems to be the new Surge for Beverly Hills Cop 4. For those who don't know, we will not get Surge because Bronson Pinchot fucking bent the knee and apologized for doing that role. They work at the front desk for Jane's law office, self-absorbed, and pay more attention to her personal life than to the person standing in front of her, Axel Foley. Maitre D. It's not Beverly Hills Cop movie unless Foley has issues with a maitre d' or other service member. They're impatient, refined, and begrudgingly helps Axel and Jane find a table at a high-profile restaurant. Arana. Listed as Latin 30s, a former Furzo's Armada member, I think that's how you say it, who is now a cartel hitman, who shows no mercy after going after Bobby, mercy going after Bobby on the streets of LA. He's plenty of tattoos, including facial ones. Sounds more like it's Bobby's movie. Judge and clerk, these two are involved with Jane's court case, and Judge is fair and helps out Jane with motion to delay the final decision. The clerk has a nice scene and works in front. So obviously Jane's in trouble for something. Okay. So those are some new details. Blah fucking blah. I am fucking pissed. The fuck is this shit?
Cash
What a
grab.
waste.
It's the same fucking bullshit they tried pulling with the fucking TV series and never got picked up. That was supposed to be about him and his kid. Unfortunately, Shaft is already pretty much done what I would do.
Shaft did it well, yeah.
And that would be, like set up a situation where Eddie has a kid who's also a detective, but they're the complete fucking opposite of each other. He's a book nerd and he's really good at, forensics and all that kind of shit. And Eddie's just good at, streetwise detective work, and they got to work together. This just sounds stupid. None of the original characters are here. I don't understand why they're going to Beverly Hills outside of the estranged daughter is there or whatever. And it doesn't sound like they're that estranged if he has an issue with her boyfriend. I mean, so clearly they're involved in some way. I don't get this. I had script looking for the script, but he hasn't been able to uncover it yet. But Script knows what I've been saying. They've been trying to make this movie for a while. They even tried making a TV show for a while. That never got picked up. But they're constantly trying to pass the baton onto the next generation. I don't see why. Eddie Murphy is Eddie Murphy. Let him be Axel Foley for 2-3 more movies. Who cares?
Yeah.
You don't need kids. You don't need a wife.
You're making too much sense. They
And if you're going to give him a kid, she either has to be exactly like him or the exact opposite.
Yeah, they got. See, I don't mind if it's young because it's sometimes nice to have that contrast. Kind of like with the buddy cop movies, you have the contrast of the one guy who's by the book and the guy who's like the out of control crazy guy, but still wants to do good at the end of the day. You can work with that greatly, and of course, now if the daughter ends up or son ends up just like him, that's great because the whole it runs of the family. It can literally work both ways, but obviously,
well, the thing is if you're going to have the kid be too much like him, then it's got to be a younger kid. And then you have the part of the plot being that the kid gets kidnapped or something, and that's the whole thing. Is the joke is that the kid drives the fucking kidnappers nuts because he or she is just like their dad, right? And pretty much outsmarts them throughout the entire film. But yeah, but that's just it. Finding somebody who can play that role, I think, is impossible. I'm pissed because, for those who know me, know Beverly Hills Cop is one of my favorite films of all time. Mike and I have been waiting forever for our Axel Foley hot toys.
Dude, I would
Mike,
love an Axel Foley hot toy.
I know, Mike, you're a big fan too. How do you feel about this?
Funny you say that because I'm sitting here right now trying to track our order here because I'm convinced this is a sign from God that we're finally going to get these things. These two. We have 2 action figures that have been on hold since November. So I am a massively huge Beverly Hills Cop fan. I mean, I myself, there were plenty of remixes of the original score, the original theme music that came out. I was a young tiny little kid, and it was the first songs that I DJ'd to, that I would play over and over again. And I've seen all 3 movies multiple times. Well, 3 I've probably only seen like maybe 4 or 5 times. 1 and 2 I've seen easily 20, 30 times each. Easy.
Right, me too.
Easy. I love them. I can almost recite them. In fact, more than anything, they probably helped bring me out of my shell because it was neat to see a comedic character that had that sort of street vibe. I mean, where I grew up was from the streets of East San Jose, and his comedic vibe was just awesome. It also meant a lot because short time. When did the first one come out? What year was that?
84.
84. Yeah. So that time. So later down the road, I would end up going to college. And, the feeling of watching Axel go to Beverly Hills was a lot like what it was for me going from East San Jose to Stanford, and how disorienting that was in a lot of ways. This movie means Axel Foley is a huge significance in my life. I mean, it's not really, I wouldn't call it like a fandom, but I mean, it's got a very special place in my heart.
It's important to realize, I mean, most people don't know this, that for the longest time, I don't know whatever overtook it. I'd have to go and look back. Maybe Scripter members or Culture does. This was Paramount's highest grossing film for a long time. The first one was. And the second one was one of those rare sequels in the 80s that was actually fairly well received. Do you remember, Culture, what overtook it?
No, I don't remember what overtook it.
I think Paramount's had something since then that made more money than Beverly Hills Cop did. But at that time, it was the highest grossing film that Paramount had. And Eddie Murphy was such a big star at Paramount, he could do just about anything he wanted for a while. And it was because of that movie, mainly. And how much money it made. People don't realize how much money it made. It was the biggest film of 1984. Of all those fucking movies that came out that year.
That's why they wanted to put him in Star Trek 4.
Yeah, he was going to be in Star Trek 4. I mean, Ghostbusters, Gremlins, all these big movies that came out in 1984. Beverly Hills Cop outgrossed them all, believe it or not. Karate Kid came out that year. I mean, 84. I mean, people talk about 82 as a big year for movies.
No, that was a huge year.
People forget about how big 84 was.
84 was gigantic. I lived at the theater the whole year.
Well, the other thing too is that this movie came on the heels after, was it Delirious?
He had Delirious, Trading Places just before that. Yeah.
Raw,
so this was Raw came after this, right? Raw was kind of like timed with Beverly Hills Cop 2, kind of the way Delirious was with this.
It was 86.
Yeah, 86 or 7, yeah. But this was his peak, right? Like the only thing he did in between this, even though Golden Child, people consider that a flop, it still made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
It was just not as well received, and that was the movie he made in between. Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Anyway,
I
I'll
like
let the
Golden
next
Child.
person go.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Culture. It's your turn.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I mean, I have deep reverence for this film. I mean, the original. I liked the sequel. I was one of those weird guys. I think that, all three of the films are worthy of the character. What I'm terrified of, and this is probably the fear that I share with Tom and many others, is that I'm going to get Coming to America 2 crap with this film. And I can't take that. You can't ruin Axel Foley for me. You can't, and I mean, I'm happy to ignore pretty much everything that comes out anymore. But this film, when it came out, the first film, when Beverly Hills Cop 1 came out, I was in heaven, man. The thing was so cool, and Eddie Murphy at that time was already on fire in my world, Everybody knew who he was. He was Gumby. He was all these amazing characters from Saturday Night Live. And, seeing this film in the theater was amazing. It was a really good date film. And, and it had something for everybody. And it was funny.
Yeah, we don't talk about Best Defense, Tweaky Kid.
So
we forgive him for that. He was inserted into that and used as basically to sell a movie that they knew was a piece of shit. That's one of those movies that's so bad it's good in a weird way. Like, yeah, it was
he admitted
poorly. Yeah, it was a poorly put together film. Cosmic Vader, you're right. Like, this was a great year for film, but yeah. So, Nick, what's your reaction to that?
I obviously you already know some of my feelings. This is, I mean, I know. Yesterday I said nobody asked for this, and yeah, 10 years ago I probably would have agreed. 15 to be even more honest. But with this climate and this casting, it feels like they just need a movie to have the slap the name Beverly Hills Cop and just go for it because they know that name is brand recognition. So. Otherwise, they don't have any people that you recognize or story element that you recognize besides Axel Foley, of course. But it's just it's content. It's just content to put out with the brand name recognition. So I'm sure it's not going to be great. If it ends up somehow being good, hey, I'll be happy. I would love to see an Eddie Murphy flick kill it in 2023, 4 or 5. I want to see that happen. Trust me. Like I was huge into Beverly Hills Cop, and like you, I even didn't mind the sequels as much. So I would love for this to be great, but I'm not so sure right now.
6, I know you haven't seen the movie, but did you have anything to add to this or?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to give you the opportunity. Script Doctor.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this news?
Don't care.
Oh,
Amen.
Wow. Usually scripts that got so elaborate to say but nope, straightforward. Don't care.
I love the Beverly Hills Cop films, mostly the first two. The third one, it looks like it was shot for TV.
Yeah, it does.
John Lane's is the best, of course. But I don't. You haven't given me well, not so much you, but the people behind this film, if this is going to be the take they have, they've given me nothing to create excitement or interest in this story.
Exactly.
Like the first one was like, oh, Ronnie Cox's character gets shot and he might be dying. Holy crap, let's go take a look and see what's going on with that. I like this character in first one, but what is this here? He's got an estranged kid, possibly estranged because of her choice in men or something. I don't know.
Lord knows. Yeah, and this is why I want you to find the script for me, because this is one that I want to fucking get to the bottom of. But Klobby, what's your?
I went to see a lot of movies in 1984 over and over again, and this was one of them. I love this movie. I love the first film so much that even though I have a lot of issues with the second one when I saw it, and then later the third one, it's just the first one's so good it makes me not care that much about the inadequacies of both the second and third. I still can enjoy them and watch them, so it's a big deal to me. So I wish they wouldn't even touch it. Because especially with the 2022, 2023 touch, whatever's going to get made. Yeah, this is garbage news because like you mentioned earlier, Shaft, that was the right way to do something like this. They're not going to be approaching it like that. This is going to be horrible. And like Coming to America 2 Electric Boogaloo, I won't be taking a look at this either.
I don't blame you there. Valiant.
I'm going to echo what Script says. I just don't care. I totally agree with him. The first two Beverly Hills Cop movies were great. I remember seeing Beverly Hills Cop 3 in theaters and just being very meh about it. To me, there was a fine line when Eddie Murphy kind of lost his stride. And I hate to say that, but it just, he was not, we went from 80s Eddie Murphy to 90s Eddie Murphy, and there was a sharp distinction. Granted, he was a married man. He had children. It was a different point in his life. And I'm not going to say that the stuff was bad, but it just wasn't the same. But you talk about 1980.
Was the best 90s film he'd done, and nobody got it.
Wait, I'm sorry. Which one?
Bowfinger.
Oh, Bowfinger was freaking brilliant.
Yeah, with Steve Martin.
Oh my God!
Nobody showed up for it, even though it's like one of the most brilliant comedies of him and Steve Martin ever.
Definitely, I agree with Script, and I bring it up whenever I can too, because that was a great. That's the film I say his big thing in the '90s into the 2000s was he wanted to win a fucking Oscar. That was his big thing. Honestly, that's the movie he probably should have won an Oscar for. Let's be real.
He was brilliant in that.
And I was going to say, since you mentioned box office real quick, I have the 1984 list, and I think the audience will find this fascinating. 1982 was the first year that the box office exploded up and just busted out of a sub $1 billion haul rut. $3 billion in 82. That's why people remember 82, because it was the first time. The year before that, 81, was under $1 billion. 82, the total box office grosses were over $3 billion. And then 84, also over $3 billion. Here's some of the movies that came out that year, just in case anybody has some issues remembering some of the crazy. This is the titles. Okay. Incredible. I mean, Scarface, 16 Candles. Let's see. Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. The Terminator. Red Dawn. Revenge of the Nerds. Purple Rain. Romancing the Stone, Terms of Endearment, Star Trek 3, Beverly Hills Cop, which only hauled in calendar year 77 million, but that's because it came out December 5th. Yeah. It was the highest grossing film that released that year at 234 million.
And then Culture did the homework, and I wasn't sure, but I thought it was. Top Gun overtook it 2 years later, but yeah.
Yeah, Footloose, Police Academy, The Karate Kid, Gremlins, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and then there's some argument.
You tell me there was a better year than 1984. I'm calling bullshit.
And that's what I say. Yeah, it's a tough year to beat. And
I was also born in 1984, so it just makes it even more.
Wow. We just give all the credit to Script. He's such a kid.
I was 20 years old going to the movie all the time, and he was born.
I was conceived and born in the same year of 84. That's how good that movie is.
Well, and there's a little argument to be made with my original claim, because if you go by worldwide numbers, which were a bit different then, technically Temple of Doom has made more money, but I think they are also counting in like re-releases and shit.
Yeah, they are. Number. There's a few re-releases factored into there, but look, and that's why
because if I remember right, Temple of Doom actually only made like 260 or 70 million on its initial release.
Its initial release is 179,870.
I was gonna say you maybe add another 100 for worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, and
who's bomb? I got a bomb that's about to go off.
I'm sorry. That's my thing going off telling me I gotta check the oven. I didn't realize that. Which I have to go check the oven. No, what I was gonna say was
this podcast is about to self-destruct.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Shit, I'm always off on the count.
No, what I was gonna say, I never go back when I'm doing historical box office data. I always have to exclude international release because it's so skewed. I mean, especially going back into the 80s. I mean, international releases back then are nothing like they are today.
Well, you also had the problem of movies that came out one year wouldn't come out till like a year or two later in some other countries.
Exactly.
So that's the other
then,
difference.
You're talking about literally, I don't know, 10% or less of the international release exposure in 1985 compared to today. I mean,
but
it's a different
neither
planet.
here nor there. But the point was, it was definitely one of the biggest movies of that year, and most people forget that was my whole point. And yeah, so like as far as this goes, I think we have to wait and see, but I'm not holding my breath on this one. I was really looking forward to it, and now I'm really fucking pissed. After reading this. Yeah, go for it. And that'll take us into our next story here. Actually, speaking of being pissed, a lot of people have been pissed off about Amazon's Lord of the Rings. But now we're going to get some diversity in Middle Earth when it comes to the orcs. Because isn't that what y'all been worried about up to this point? Is there just wasn't enough diversity?
What?
When it came to the orcs?
No.
Yes. Now I'm going to watch
Finally. My gosh, my people will finally be able to get some recognition.
I can see myself and enjoy the show now that someone looks like, hey, look at that guy left. That's me.
I can assure you
That's
this.
me.
I can assure you this. They'll make sure none of the Middle Earth orcs look like any of you guys.
I happen to look just like that middle one right there, so I'm happy.
I would say I look kind of like the one on the end there. Yeah.
There you go. So finally,
no, there's a bit of good news in this, I guess. Amazon's Lord of the Rings goes back to mostly practical orcs after Hobbit CGI plus female orcs.
Yay.
Now there are some people who are looking forward to this show, and I know Six was one of them who was looking forward to this show. Are you looking forward to it more now, though, Six, that you're going to get female representation among orcs? Is that something that was important to you as a woman? Or
I don't want to see women orcs. I don't want to see orcs with boobs. I don't want to see women orcs with no boobs. I'm not sure how they're going to... Is it going to be like the dwarves, where we're not supposed to be able to differentiate between the male and the female dwarves?
What about women orcs with? What about women orcs with armpit hair?
Oh, gross! No, that just makes me want to go take a shower now and shave again.
Yeah, kind of.
Wow, the one with the helmet looks like something from Time of the Apes. I don't know if you're familiar with
that doesn't even look like an orc. That's like, I'm on the wrong fucking set. Shit.
Remember Time of the Apes? Anyway.
We ran out of orcs. We needed a few apes in here. Nobody will notice.
That guy in there, boy. He's got
like the drinker says, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Nobody will notice.
Fine, yeah, no worries.
Okay, so let's read this. Amazon Prime Videos, The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, will harken back to Peter Jackson. No, it won't. Harken back to Peter Jackson's original trilogy by relying predominantly on practical effects and prosthetics and bringing the orcs of Middle-earth back to life. Jackson's 3 Lord of the Rings films earned acclaim for showcasing practical creature makeup and prosthetic work, but Jackson notoriously went CGI route in the Hobbit trilogy for orc characters such as Azog and Bolg. Because they were... Oh my fucking god. Who wrote this stupidity?
Well,
Zach
right.
Sharf?
Shart.
More like it.
Zach Sharted.
They clearly don't understand how this worked. But anyway, I'm not even going to get into that whole thing. Fans have long been critical of CGI switch to CGI. Those characters you couldn't do physically. Like, what the hell are you talking about? It was more so the other stuff that he didn't have to do in CGI that people were more critical of. But anyway, speaking to IGN, the Ring of Power executive producer Lindsay Weber and prosthetics department chief Jamie Wilson assured fans that a more practical approach for orcs was used on the Amazon... Wait a minute. Now I'm trying to remember my Lord of the Rings history. Okay, it was the Uruk-hai I was thinking of. Okay, never mind. Because the orcs and the goblins merged and that made the Uruk-hai or whatever. Never mind. Was used on Amazon Prime Video series. Visual effects were only utilized to make minor tweaks to prosthetics during action scenes or showcase a group of orcs so large in number that it would have been impossible to pull off the scene practically. Which is kind of what Peter did. But anyhow, when they are close up to the camera, orcs are really practical and almost exclusively, Weber said. And the places where the visual effects team help in more numbers and when we need larger quantities. And you could... This is just fucking bullshit. Puff shit.
Okay, if you...
I was going to say scroll down, right? Yeah.
No, I was going to say scroll up and click on that IGN hyperlink.
Okay, because I want the stuff about the female orcs.
Yeah, click on the IGN.
Okay, let me. I don't know if it didn't change for you guys, did it? So let me
No.
repaste this link in here. Here we go. So
You guys better not punk me and set me up on a date with an orc, because I'm not going.
Yeah, you are.
Nope.
I paid for it already. God damn it.
No.
Battalions.
There's a maniac.
Jesus.
That's the next fad is when you have, trans orcs doing shows at schools. That'll be Amazon.
So we actually got some images here on top of it all. We got some new images. So thank you for the 6. Battalions of orcs have played pivotal role throughout the Lord of the Rings franchise. We just want to see. There we go.
Do you want to click on the pictures first and then?
Yeah, here we go.
Because I think they're gorgeous.
Well, that one don't look too shabby. Let me see if I can make this bigger here. Hang on.
Not banging me.
Well, I don't think that's a chick.
Oh.
No.
Okay, all it does is make the ad bigger.
Don't misgender it.
Yeah, it won't let me make it any bigger. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. I don't know. It looks kind of like an orc, I guess. But I know it's not meant to be the same franchise. I know that. There we go. Okay, that's like a wood orc or whatever. I don't know. I guess. That's not too shabby.
He's going to drown when it rains with that nostril.
It's giving Mike words.
That's true.
No.
I mean, I think these look great.
I guess.
They blew enough money on it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, look,
I was going to say, they definitely spent money.
With rare exception, everything I've seen from the promotional material based on the production shots like we're looking at here visually, I mean, a lot of this show looks stunning. It's, I mean, that's not ever been my complaint. It's just, what are they going to do with it?
Mm-hmm. And what is the point of female orcs? I mean, I thought they were
Go back to that
born.
article.
Well, maybe they're hoping that visually stunning will make you not notice how shitty the story is. Because, well, we've seen a lot of that happen recently where it looks visually nice, but then the story is absolute garbage. And you get people always talk about my visuals.
And they keep scrolling.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you can give the show an Emmy for best cinematography, but I mean, what else? I mean, that's what counts, right? Is
Below that quote in red.
Is the script good? Is the story good? Is the
Agreed.
Exactly.
Because this is a wildly different age for the orcs, with the timing being much earlier than the orcs we've seen on screen up to this point. And they can't visually look the same, legally. And their numbers being so diminished, it was important that they look and feel different. Why do I feel like flashbacks to Star Trek Discovery all over again? Where they're trying to fucking gaslight us. Exactly, Script. What the fuck? Just tell us. They have to be 25% different. What the fuck, man?
They made up a really nice backstory as to why they look different, too.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's hear. Yeah, let's hear it. Okay. We're getting there. We spent a lot of time talking about what this would mean to be an orc in the Second Age, said Weber. It felt appropriate that their look would be different, part of the wilder, more raw Second Age Middle-earth close to where the First Age ends. As we meet them, they're not yet organized into armies, there's a little more scattered, and they've been scavenging. So it's just a different time in their total story. Okay.
Do you want me to read?
No, I'm just trying to... Is there more to this where... Different time in the story. Indeed, as mentioned, the armies we see in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings film trilogy, which this television series is not tied to. Okay, at least they have to admit that here. Are yet to be created. They, the orcs, kind of disappeared. Note, everyone thought they... Ouch, kitty, god damn it. That's my leg. Ouch. But really, they regressed into the dark in a small little groups and hid away. They live in tunnels. Fucking bleeding now. Thanks, kitty. Sort of under Middle Earth. Because the only way they could hide, because of course they were hunted for so long. So this is really them coming back out as they reform under a so-called new leader who's going to lead them forward. It's hard to imagine the orcs outside of the swarms of warriors we become accustomed to, but Weber dropped a major reveal for the series in regards to the orcs' repopulation when teasing her favorite moment of the first season of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. This is their favorite. This is Weber's favorite moment. There's some female orcs that I truly love, she said, but they're orcs. But there's one orc in particular who's very, very tall and strong, who has a particularly enjoyable fight with one of our elven characters that I suspect will be or hope will be a favorite among fans.
Now, this might just be my weird
interpretation,
but I feel like there's going to be some sexual chemistry going on in this fight. Just that's how, when I read that quote, that's how I heard it in my head, that she kind of had like a naughty lilt to it. But maybe
like Twitter shipping.
Wow, Nick.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I got for what Six was saying. I'm like,
used to be Tumblr shipping, but I guess there's no Tumblr, so it's
yeah. I don't know if Tumblr's a thing anymore. Is Tumblr still a thing?
It exists.
I have a Tumblr.
Wow,
but
it's still
just it says who has a particularly enjoyable fight. I don't know. That just
I know. Very lesbian oriented, I guess. The Rings of Power team isn't giving us all of their secrets just yet, though. When we asked about the potential of ever seeing the creation of orcs, even though their creation takes place in the first age rather than the second, Wilson played it coy. Well, that would just be telling you too much, he said with a smile. All right.
They were elves once. But look, we got to see the creation of the Uruk-hai in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. I mean, Saruman was just growing.
Well, that's what I was trying to remember. How they and those were by mixing the orcs
and the goblins. Yeah.
And they were born out of the darkness of hell, basically. Yeah.
Yep. He built them to be able to march in the daylight. That was the difference.
Yes, because the other ones couldn't come out during the day, and goblins actually turned to stone.
Yep.
Boy.
Yeah, I got a little bit of Lord of the Rings knowledge.
We're so used to like being burned. We're just like, oh, here we go again.
I did read the books like 10 years ago.
Did you? I only sadly I never read the books, and that's shame on me. But I did, of course, see all 3 movies in theaters and own the original extended edition DVDs. So those are amazing. But I don't know, the Rings of Power it sounds like it's gonna be a disaster. It sounds like it's gonna be Game of Thrones with the Lord of the Rings name on it.
You don't want some Lady Orc action?
I'm not ready to ship orcs.
Anybody here excited for Lady Orcs?
Nope.
No.
I mean, maybe the ladies in the chat maybe can say, hey, I can finally see myself in an orc, figuratively speaking.
Maybe they'll bust out some old 70s.
Maybe an orc can see themselves in you.
Ooh. Maybe they're hoping for like some cosplaying. I mean, are they going to be sexy orcs?
What about the soundtrack? Sky rockets in flight.
Sexy orcs would defeat the purpose of the orcs.
Orc sexual attraction delight.
They can't do it in the afternoon.
You know, they did have there was a video on that link that had some really nice music playing. I don't know if it's going to be from the show.
Oh, I don't want to get a copyright claim, yeah.
Okay.
But it could be. They've been, because didn't they delay it again? Isn't it supposed to be out already? And
yep.
Yeah.
They delayed it to the day that
2.
Tolkien passed away.
Oh, the insult of it all. Well,
you're talking about Chris Tolkien when they took the rights?
I wouldn't be surprised if they're adding some Hobbit to it too. Who knows?
They have Harfoots.
But then again, Andre said, like we said in our interview, this is from our video, not interview. This is a totally different deal than what ended up becoming of that Hobbit. So they may not be able to integrate at all. We'll have to see yet. But yeah,
none of this is good news. We've known this was going to be a trash sandwich.
I honestly hope we're wrong. I hope it's decent, the amount of money that's put in it, but I have not seen anything from the story or what they're presenting to us, from the whole fan thing they did down to female orcs at this point. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Tom, come on. Super fans that know nothing about Tolkien.
Like totally?
Like
Bill's hell's diversity.
Well, I could be wrong,
But I believe Diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
What'd you say, Script? Sorry.
Like Bill Swarsky superfans?
Yeah.
With it was George Wendt and Chris Farley and Mike Myers
Oh.
and those guys.
The Bears.
Bears.
I like the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings are gonna be amazing on
And
Amazon.
don't forget Joe Montana. Joe Montana
Montana.
was in there.
Not
He was a big
Montana,
quarterback.
Montana. Montana, get it right.
No, not Joe Montana. It was Joe Montana. They had a fight on that about the whole naming thing on SNL.
Yeah, I know.
Sure that I
Joe
remember.
Montana was a quarterback, you idiot.
I'm
Yeah,
Joe
but the Bears
Montana.
When
sacked
Chris
him a lot.
Farley like randomly started choking himself ad lib on set because he was choking
was
on a
great.
bratwurst.
Gave
and, like,
himself, he's having a heart attack and shit.
Nobody on the set could keep a straight face at that point.
I love those,
It's
man.
like, oh
Those
my
were
God.
amazing. My other favorite one is when him and David Spade and Adam Sandler played the girls in the mall.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
I'm starving.
David Spade about
I got a
like,
gland problem.
he pissed himself like on stage. when he did that.
Well, that was the beauty of SNL back then. It wasn't even so much the skits themselves. It was could they get the other guys to crack. And I know, like our parents watched it the same way because my dad would say
It
the
was like
same
Tim
thing about.
Conway on the Carol Burnett show. with
Exactly. My
Harvey
dad
Korman.
said the same damn thing about those two. Exactly. He goes, that was like the whole thing was how long they could go before the two of them could get one or the other to crack. Exactly.
Yeah. I think Corman even said at one point, or Tim Conway did, it's like, I was never trying to get him to crack. He would just do his thing. And Harvey and Carol just couldn't take it. And they
Yeah,
would just
Conway was like
die.
a stone wall most of the time, except for until they finally got to the, I think it was the dentist skit that Tim
yes.
finally broke, I think, in the first time. But that was the thing, is he was the one that always was good at holding it, yeah.
Corman would crack in like 2 seconds.
Captain Fandom Nerd has been a member for 14 months at the minimum effort puppy level. Thank you so much. I think that deserves an Oscar-winning puppy. I think so. I think that definitely deserves an Oscar-winning puppy. Look at that puppy. He deserves an Oscar.
How's
so
that
happy.
Congo video coming along?
I know. I got to get on that. I have an idea or two for it. I'm getting there, closer every day. Maybe the Congo video will end up being something you least expect. Mecha J says they think putting out more info will get fans excited for the show. Is only getting to have the opposite effect. In some cases, yes. If you just put out these pictures and didn't give me this female orc bullshit, I think 6 is right in the part where I'd be like, yeah, this looks a little bit more in line with what I want to see when it comes to Lord of the Rings, right? But I don't know about this whole female orc thing. It just kind of seems odd to me because that's the whole point is they're unnatural, and I'm sure there's some Lord of the Rings nerd who knows more than I do in the chat who might be able to tell me how it doesn't work or it does work one way or the other. So if you do know, please let me know. But yeah, I see that whole thing as a silly endeavor. Aiken says decomposition, rot, corruption, anaerobic. Is that the word?
Anaerobic, yeah.
Reactions all end up black, dark, and foul. That coincidentally is what orcs are. Why does gender matter? Exactly. Like that was my whole understanding is that they came of pure darkness and evil. They don't have like the normal. They're all unnatural. They're like, why would you give them a normal reproductive? I would more imagine them come out of the ground or like a tree or something. Like something natural like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but then they can't have two orcs getting it on.
That's my point. And who needs that shit, right?
Oh,
if anything, we need some full-on Hobbit action.
Level stuff. Yeah,
we know those little hobbits. That's all they do is eat, sleep, and fuck. So I mean, come on. I mean,
the orcs are jealous.
It's
well,
true.
God forbid they have any Hobbit foot porn videos. Jesus.
Oh, they definitely got foot fetishes, I'm sure. You got to believe that. That's like a main.
So gross.
That's just terrible. Oh yeah,
we got a minimum effort puppy
up.
in the house. We got a new one from Thomas Mess. Thank you so much for becoming a member. This is Mikey's favorite video right here. This is the minimum effort puppy. There you go. Right behind him, though, is a wannabe maximum effort puppy. He's like, I'm waiting for my turn. I just need my moment to shine.
Okay, so I Googled it because that's what I do, and it sounds like they don't have external genitalia because that would get in the way.
I figured as much.
It'd be an honorable point.
You said
But,
genitalia.
It says that they probably have a cloaca,
What the fuck is that?
like a
Is
chicken.
that another thing I gotta find now?
It's a well. It's a
They
yeah.
poop and lay eggs from the same opening.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
they're like
I'm glad when
chickens.
she said that. She's like, I
Mystery
googled it.
solved.
I thought she was googling Hobbit.
No, that's
foot
exactly
fetish
how
porn.
chickens are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Buttcrack Media is now a member as well. Thank to God we can change the fucking subject. He is he's also a minimum effort puppy, but since we just played the minimum effort puppy video, I'm gonna give you a bored corgi. There you go. He's so bored.
Aw.
But he's cute doing it.
So
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I want a corgi. I wonder what Sadie would do if we had a corgi in the house. The corgi would probably like go underneath her and shit, and she'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
My girlfriend wants one so bad. She tries to play corgi videos like every night before bed. She's like, "Come on, I'm planting the seed." Like,
God.
we'll see. We need a bigger place.
Better
first.
that than a kid, man.
I don't know,
Well,
kids eventually take care of themselves, so I mean, you got that. you
That's
got that
true
going
too,
for 'em.
but dogs are
Yeah.
more loyal. And they are more loving. Kids will tell you to fuck off and they wish you were dead and all that stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah, but then you can kick them out, and it's a lot more fun to see them squirm.
yeah,
but
but dogs
I have
dogs
this
actually
to look
worry about
forward
it when you
to.
kick them outside and they think they can't get in. They actually take it seriously. So like,
Yeah, like if you ever need, if you kick a dog out of the house, that's like animal abuse. But if you do that to your kid, that's discipline. I mean,
Damn
well,
right.
it depends on their
on your side.
age.
oh yeah,
It depends on their age. Like, yeah. Oh
Those are
shit.
mean parents. I'm just saying.
Nah, I know. God, you can ask my kid.
I don't
how
know.
mean
I'm
of a
getting
parent I am.
inspired right now. I mean, I feel like Rory, get
I was
the
gonna
fuck
say.
out of my house. It didn't
Yeah.
work.
You got a job? Can you pay rent? Oh, that sucks. You better start doing some fucking dishes then.
that's a big man dog for
It
someone who doesn't have a
didn't
place to live tonight.
It didn't
Tom, I
work. I
just
tried.
posted
She's still here.
What's this, 6?
I posted a video in the private chat. It's a Lord of the Rings take.
Lord of the Rings.
There's no copyright claim on it.
Okay.
It's from Zach's.
It's actually unlisted, but yeah, it's from Zach's, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Looks like
All right,
Colt
here we-
Casino.
Looks a lot like him, yeah.
Hey, I saw your new feature for Rings of Power today, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, and? Oh, nothing. I thought it was kind of fun. There's black people in it? Yeah, that's awesome. What do you mean? I mean, it looks like fun. So what's the show going to be about? Like, what are they going to be doing? Excuse me? Did you just say they? Yeah, like the characters on the show. What are they going to be doing? We haven't seen much of that. Wow, you just said that. Yeah. I mean, just like, what's the story going to be? What are the characters going to be doing on the show? So what? Black people existing in Middle Earth? That's not enough for you? No, I just mean normally on TV shows and in movies, the characters do things, and normally there's a story, and the things they do add to the story. So what? You think that they, as you put it, are there to entertain you? Are they supposed to dance for you? Huh? Is that what you think? Bigot? Wow, that escalated quickly. No, I'm just wondering because Lenny Henry was saying that he's going to be taking up space in Middle Earth, and it's not really a character thing. And just what is it you think Mr. Henry owes you? This isn't the 1980s, you know. People don't have to do anything. They can just exist and express. Okay. Well, what I'm saying is all the promotional stuff we've seen, except for that 1-minute teaser, it's mostly been about like what people look like in Middle Earth and not so much about what they're doing in Middle Earth. So I'm just kind of wondering, are they going to be doing stuff? Like, what's the story about? The show is about representation. You bigot. And don't you dare say lore. Oh, I wasn't going to. I'm not an expert or anything. I don't know lore really, but I thought like for a TV show, we would know that there's going to be things happening on the show and what those things would be like. That's all. Yeah, well, we don't answer to you. Okay. Okay. Well, hey, one more question. It was Father's Day yesterday. Where was that kid's? Never mind.
Okay, I don't get the end part there. But, anyway.
Thank you
that
for highlights
that,
the biggest. So I've had multiple conversations with Zax about the show because I was super excited about it and he was hating on it pretty much from the start. And I have to be honest, he just smacked me upside the head one day with, "Well, what's the show about?"
Right.
And I said, "Oh, I don't know. It just looks pretty." So
yeah, that's what they're counting on.
Yeah,
and that may be what they're doing. And look, and I'm not trying to be sexist here, but there's a different way to market stuff to women and there is to men, and women can get more out of the emotion of something and images than necessarily they give a shit about the story at first, probably. Now, once you get into the show, I guarantee you, if you don't have anything more than pretty pictures to look at, you're gonna be like, well, what the fuck am I watching? Like,
yeah, that's
definitely the first
sexist.
time. I mean, and look, that's why.
Well, no, I'm just saying as far as the advertising aspect of it.
No, I agree with you. That's
no,
what I'm
she
saying.
just called me sexist, though. But yeah,
No, but
I know,
you know what? But Tom, there's nothing wrong with being sexist. That's why men and women are different.
Yeah,
we have different advantages and different disadvantages, and I don't see anything wrong with men playing their gender role and women playing their gender role. I know that I am a woman. You know, there's no doubt about it.
Are you sure?
So,
are you sure? Like,
okay, well, let me explain it in a way, and I'm not defending myself in any way or saying that you have any reason.
But I wasn't. That wasn't.
No, and that's why I know, and that's why I'm saying this is like.
Okay.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're advertising a hamburger, right? You want to advertise it to a man, and you want to advertise it to a woman. You're going to do two completely different advertisements. At least that's the way it used to be in the advertising world, right?
Yep.
Like for the man's ad, you're probably going to have some sexy woman there saying, "Oh, I want Burger King right now," and taking a bite, because then the whole idea is that selling to that man that they can get that sexy woman. Same thing with the reversal with the woman. They'll have a sexy man. In fact, Burger King did this exact fucking thing like 10 years ago.
They call that a cowgirl.
Yeah, exactly. They did this exact same thing a couple of years ago. They had advertising towards the men and the women for one of their new Whoppers. And that's exactly what they did. They had a sexy man advertising towards the women and the vice versa for the women. And if they were gay, well, it just happened to work out that you got something to look at. You know, that was the whole point, is they knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't even fucking pretending. It was like, this is what we're doing. We're putting a sexy person there eating our hamburger. Go buy it. Like that's pretty much what it was. And to me, that's like the simplest form of this is if you know your audience and what you're trying to get, it's very easy to advertise to said audience. And I think that's the biggest problem we have with like this Amazon thing is they're not quite sure the audience they're trying to get here. They're trying to get new fans like women that may not necessarily have been involved in Lord of the Rings before, but they are, of course, negating the thing that we all know as nerds is that there's plenty of women who like this stuff. They just get ignored. And then the other side of this, as far as the other fans, nobody who's a fan of Lord of the Rings is watching these trailers and going, yeah, that looks interesting. I want to see that, because they're giving us nothing to hang on to. Right? 9 times out of 10, you can see a crappy trailer, but if they throw something interesting in there that really kind of hooks you in as a person who wants to see the story, well, that's great. Well, that's where Jurassic World comes in as a great fucking example, because there was nothing really in the overall, story part of it that I wanted to see, but I knew I seen some of the action in the trailer and I seen that the original cast was back. That was enough for me to go, okay, I want to see that. Here, they're not giving any of those things. They're not even giving us member berries. They're not giving us any story. They're just giving us, look, we spent all this fucking money on this. Look how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they're giving us. And diverse.
And I love it.
Zach's nailed it with that. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I loved it because I wanted to love it, because I wanted Lord of the Rings to rise up and take over what Star Wars had been, because now Star Wars sucks. And so I'm just looking for something.
It could.
So, and because Lord of the Rings has been huge for me. And so I know. Huge. And, but it's obviously not going to,
well,
and
I hope we're wrong. I do.
Yeah. And I've been in I want to ask you guys on the panel: are any of you going to watch the pilot?
No.
I think I'm obligated at this point.
Pontius Pilot.
What'd you say, Culture?
Pontius Pilot.
Pontius Pilot.
No, I'll probably skip it until I listen to somebody that I trust to find out if it's possible to avoid the crazy ass woke stuff.
Yeah.
Weak. I'm mad enough, but I'm going to watch it.
This does not help Juan. The guy who directed Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is directing some of the episodes.
No, come on. That's a joke, isn't it?
He must have been really affordable.
That is not salesmanship.
Oh,
I gotta go.
it's failing upwards, man. You know, you do bad at one property, you move on to another IP. Fuck that one up, and then you move on to the next one.
This is why I love 6, right? Because 6 says, "I'm going to Google that," and then she goes.
Well, that's what she does. She makes sure we're telling the truth.
She's
but people say, "Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies."
I love that song.
How are you not singing that, Culture? Come on.
Tell me lies.
I know.
All alone, time can't disguise.
Son of a bitch, it's true. God damn it.
I love 6.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little.
Why do you sound like Maria right now? That's scary. Maria, did you kidnap Mike and tie him up or something?
That was pretty funny last night.
Maria made her debut on Toxic Femininity last night. Yeah.
Oh shucks, I missed that.
She's a very toxic female. She was showing off her goodies.
No comment.
I put a mini skirt on her.
That sounds so fucking wrong.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how I felt about it.
Well, I need an adult, so.
Oh Lord.
So I just have this one question. 6, are you the type of woman that believes that they can change a man, that they would love him so much?
Oh, fuck. I don't want to change. No. If I want to change him, I'll change who I'm looking at.
Okay. Because it's just so weird to say I want to love something so much and I want it to be good. It's like that.
I love you. Now change.
No, I get what she's saying, because there's times where I used to be a little bit more like a lot of this recent years films have really killed my. Like, I used to love going to the movies, and I wouldn't even care if a movie was that great. I just loved the idea of being able to get to see a movie, right? I was never as judgmental about shit. I could care less if you got 3 sequels that are almost the same exact thing sometimes. I would enjoy them for what they were. It was when we got to this point where everything was just garbage, and then I was being told it's my fault that shit's garbage. It's like, no. I'm more than willing to accept that you tried something and it didn't work, and or we played it safe and did the same thing and we're able to admit it. But if you're going to sit here and try and blame it on us, that's a bigger problem. See, that's when my whole fucking attitude kind of changed with this stuff. I used to be a little bit more like, you know, a summer child and be like, oh, maybe it'll be good. I was even so naive to say that Ghostbusters 2016 has a chance to be decent until I saw that fucking first trailer. Because I was looking at it.
Sucker.
I was looking at it from, and at that time I was like Mike. I was a tequila bottle half full kind of guy. Like, I mean, I'm like, look, you know, you got Paul Feig. He's done 3 movies in a row that were decent, I guess. You know, the Bridesmaids, The Heat, and that people like the Spy movie. I didn't care for it, but I see what he was going there with that. Like, if you apply that to something like this, maybe it'll work. You got some of this cast, you know, but maybe, just maybe, if you got a decent script, never mind, there's no script.
Tom
then I started learning more about this shit.
Tequila half full, but instead Tom got taco
That's
half
about
empty.
where I was. Yes, for a while I was a bit of a sweet summer child, because I also, here's the other thing, is I had to kind of get away from this idea that, look, when I worked at the video store, I had to watch almost everything. And you get to see shit that is shit. Like, I mean, fucking shit. So even the worst of the A list movies that come out from the studios, after a while, you're just like, you know what? I'm okay with the same fucking thing, because at least it ain't fucking trash. Like, I mean, I love a bad movie, and you guys know that part, but like, I have seen some garbage movies that I have forgotten because they're just that much garbage. Because I had to know what they were, know certain aspects about them for the store and whatever, and especially when you work at movie gallery because they expect you to watch everything, and it's just like, ugh. So yeah, so I've seen some shit. So for a while there,
huge shit.
Like huge shit. Like we're talking like all the Asylum crap, all the straight to video sequel shit, all that stuff. Yes. Ugh.
I wish I saw your face when Jiggly came out with Affleck and J-Lo just to see or when Jason X came out. Like, I would love to see
yeah, dude.
There were some terrible.
Jason X I actually saw way before the movie came out. Actually, it leaked on. That was one of the first movies to leak online.
As it should.
Could you imagine Tom watching Geely?
I avoided watching most of that movie. I saw enough of it. I'm like, oh, I've already seen this. It's called Chasing Amy, and it was funnier.
I wish 2022 Tom could be sitting with me in 1993 or 4 sitting through Highlander 2.
Oh, there you go.
Wow,
that would have been hilariously fun.
Oh, God.
I mean, I would have been depressed for a while, but then after a while, you just get to that point where it's like, fuck it.
I almost walked out, but I fell asleep. So.
You know, they almost, actually, in my opinion, the Renegade version of Highlander 2 kind of ruins the movie. Like, trying to make it better makes it worse.
Possible?
It does. It's just...
You know they haven't released the theatrical.
I don't even remember the difference between the original and the Renegade.
Oh, well, the original one's batshit crazy. The new version, they try to fix it. Instead of making it...
They were all batshit crazy.
I don't think you can get the theatrical cut anywhere.
You can't. Not only. I think it was only released on DVD once,
maybe. Yeah. Not even on Blu-ray at all. I mean, DVD at all, I don't think.
Maybe you're right. I used to have the theatrical cut, but I think you're right. I think it was on VHS.
It is.
They're from the planet Zeist or whatever. Zeist.
All of a sudden, they were from another planet.
Yeah, we're from another planet.
Going, after seeing the first film, you're thinking, it can't be as good as the first one, but what the hell? And then you find out they're the aliens from another planet.
I almost like the worst version better because, you know what? At least I can enjoy it for its batshit craziness. And when the version they try to fix it, it's almost like it just makes it a bad movie then, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Mike, yeah, okay, so it's never been on DVD. I trust he knows. Yeah, Highlander 2 is one of the best, worst movies ever, but they won't allow the original version out there, which bothers me. And it's like, God, I just want to see the theatrical cut again because it was so stupid.
Many years ago, someone was interviewing Mike. I think it was Mike Nelson and it was Joe Hodgson of the MST3K guys, and they said, "What big, theatrical film? Because you're always doing these smaller films. Would you love to get a hold of if you could?" And that was their first choice, Highlander 2.
Wow.
Just mind-boggling how bad that movie is.
Highlander 2 invented canon bashing. Wow. I don't know about that, but yeah, it's close. They're all stupid. Yeah, really, in the end, I've rewatched them all, most of them again here recently. And that's where I'm not so people are like knee-jerk and being like, no, you can't remake Highlander. I'm like, have you seen the fucking sequels? It's not like they did much with that idea. It could really use some revitalization. And if you say Henry Cavill's in it, I think I can watch that. As long as you don't fuck it up too bad, it has potential. There's nothing that can be worse than Highlander Endgame. That was, I walked out of a movie that.
Two?
You know what? Honestly, I would almost argue that Highlander Endgame is worse than 2. I'll watch Highlander 2 before I'll watch Endgame again.
Wow, I don't know about that.
Endgame was an insult to both the fans of the movies and the show.
Yeah, that is. I've heard that.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think they were equally kind of like yikes, but I don't know. Highlander 2 to me was more egregious just because you brought back Sean Connery for that. And it was like, forget everything you watched in the first Highlander movie. Throw that out the window because they're all aliens now, you fuckers. Ha ha, gotcha. It's like, no, brah. And then after that, they kind of like, all right, we fucked up with Highlander 2. Let's just pretend Highlander 2 didn't happen and move forward from here.
Well, they fucked all them up.
The director admitted how horrible it was. And,
yeah.
I mean, she's the idiot who directed The Shadow, so...
The only redeeming portion about that movie, besides okay, we get to see Sean Connery again, was I have to say I don't care what he's in, and I don't care how bad the movie is. I do love watching Michael Ironsides. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's at least stuff to love in the second film, as bad as it is. I give that like the pass that I give movies like Jason Goes to Hell. It's like, yeah, it's a bad movie, but at least they fucking tried something different. You know, they were backed in this corner and I know script will, you know, you sometimes you're there and you can't think of a way out and you come up with some stupid idea like, let's make them aliens.
Yeah. Oh wait, I got to tell you this. Apparently, you brought this up. I could not believe this. I was
the reason that is because they had to get Sean Connery back somehow because that's the only way they could get the funding. But anyway, go ahead, Valiant. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say real quick. There was some event last weekend or weekend before. I don't know exactly where. I was talking to one of my buddies in my office that works for us, and he's saying, yeah, they had like this sword fighting training. And he looked it up, and he's like, yeah, it was, I forget where it was in Louisiana, but it wasn't far from us. And he's like, one of the guys teaching the courses was Adrian fucking Paul.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, he's a swordsman. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was here. He was actually teaching. I was like, how did I not know about this?
Well, that's why he was a fan
so
favorite,
mad.
because, I mean, he was really good with the sword. And, I mean, I'm not, the series I have a love-hate relationship with, too. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with everything that's not the first movie. The first movie I love unapologetically, even with its flaws. Everything after that is like, and that's why I just want the original version of Highlander 2. It's like, if I got to deal with the shit, give me at least the one that's the most fun, because it's so batshit fucking crazy. But like, because Highlander 3 ignores the fact that the series is going on at the same goddamn time. Highlander Endgame takes all that shit that they built with the series and flushes it down the fucking toilet, and they make Connor a little bitch, and it's just, the whole fucking idea of it is so fucking stupid, and you see it coming from a mile away when you get to that point when it's just like, okay, for those who don't remember what Endgame is about, there's this one immortal who's breaking all the fucking rules, and he's soaking up all the power from all the other immortals. But you also find out that all this time, the reason that nobody can win the prize is there's a bunch of immortals that have basically volunteered to have themselves put in comas so that nobody can win the prize. So this goes against everything and anything. And then at the end, they come to the whole point where Connor decides that he has to sacrifice himself to Duncan so Duncan can defeat the bad guy. And I'm just sitting here thinking, you know what? Why didn't you just have them break the fucking rules and team up against him, since he's breaking all the fucking rules? And y'all are breaking the fucking rules anyway, because you got a fucking cellar full of fucking immortals who are kept alive. Of course, the guy killed him anyway, but still, the point being, like this. And then they fucking totally kind of sidestep the Watchers, exactly, under the supervision of the Watchers. So you have this whole fucking thing where they really just fucking totally... It's like all the batshit craziness that's in Highlander 2, I'll take that instead. Like, I walked out of Highlander Endgame going, this is undoubtedly one of the worst movies I'd ever seen in my life. And I wished I could have walked out of it sooner. If it wasn't for the fact that I was on a date at the time, and she really, really, really wanted to see the movie because she loved the fucking series. I was in love with the movies. She loved the series. So this was like, it was almost like, oh, it's a match made in heaven. Believe it or not, it's even my kid's fucking mother of all fucking people. So this was like a sign I should have been like, yeah, this is not gonna work out. The movie should have showed it to me in that respect, but no. It was like one of those things where we were so jazzed up on going to see this movie, right? And when we got out of it, she was disappointed for different reasons. I was disappointed for different reasons. And the whole thing was just a wash. It was just like, really? We waited all this time, and the amount of money they spent on that fucking movie, it was expensive, I think. I think they spent like $40 million on it at the time. It was just like crazy. Wow. Yes, I know Adrian Paul was the reason she liked it. Yes, I'm not stupid.
Yeah, he was, a lot of ladies liked him. He was on War of the Worlds before he went to Highlander.
I like the show. I like that it found ways to prolong the series, and it was probably the closest to the movie of all the sequel-ish stuff we got. The first movie, I mean. I wish they'd had Connor more involved in the show, though. Him only being in the pilot sucks. So.
Oh, yeah.
But Valiant's got to run, so tell the kids what you got coming up here, Valiant.
Nothing planned in stone yet, but I guess at this point, probably sometime this weekend, maybe Sunday. Don't know. We'll do a live show. I didn't do one last week. It was Father's Day. We'll do one this week for the 10,000 sub crossover.
That's awesome, dude. So
congrats, buddy.
Congratulations, my man.
Yeah, it's been a
You're
wild
awesome.
ride the last whatever the hell it's been, 16 months or something like that. 16
Yeah,
and a half
dude.
months.
You're making all of us look bad. Well done.
And who was
luck,
up
dude.
to you before Culture Casino?
Not you.
Just
Yes.
My son. So anyway, yeah, I know. Mike was like sub number 10 or something like that.
I was sub number 9 then.
Oh God, that's what it was. Okay.
Oh, so that's why I was number 8 then.
Oh, here we go. So no, it's been
Who
fun.
brought you on the live stream on a major show and channel first?
That would be you.
Thank you.
Hey, who sold comic books to you?
That would be you.
Whoa.
When I was 15.
I had to top of my.
So I mean, technically, yeah, Klobby wins from the standpoint of length of time that we have been acquainted, for sure.
We'll post your links in chat all the time.
Well, I can't
there you
compete
go.
with
Yeah,
six.
see, we're all
I
fighting.
can't compete with 6.
So much appreciation to Tom, to Culture, to Mike, to Script, everybody. I mean, everybody here. The Midnight's Edge community has been tremendous. Thank you all so much. The last 2 weeks, it's been like another, I think, 1,000 subs in the last 2 weeks, it looks like.
Killed it.
So we're here and still going, just having fun. That's at the end of the day. I put it this way: if I ever stop having fun doing this, that's when I go off the air. Because if it's just not fun anymore, I don't care about the money and stuff. It's just if it's not fun anymore, I just don't want to do it. But it's a lot of fun. And any case, thank you, everybody. I do have to get back. I've got to finish doing dinner for the family.
Congratulations.
And thank you all so much. And stay tuned. Yeah, I'll send y'all the info if I actually find a time this weekend to do the live for this. So thank you guys.
Be good.
Yeah, don't forget us little people on your way up to the top as you step on our heads.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're such little people. Yeah. No. The only little person here was Culture because he looked like Warwick Davis in that shot on this video. Anyway, good night.
Take care, brother.
He's so short and cute.
Yeah, and then we got Darius who sends us a number 1. We're number 1. Awesome. And we got Mrs. Flu in the house.
Hi,
Oh, is
Mrs.
Toxie here too?
Hey, Mrs. Flu.
I didn't think I saw Toxie here.
I did not see the
you know who
tops.
else? You know who else is doing a celebration?
Ooh.
Master of the TDS.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah? Where'd they getting at?
They hit 1,000.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And then we got Captain Palsy in the house who says the GB16 trailer made my CP worse. Oh, ouch. That's bad. The Mecha J says a few days ago, Warner Brothers put out concept art for the upcoming Lord of the Rings anime film, or the Rohirrim. Did it pique your interest at all? I don't think I saw it, but I think I heard they had put something out. I didn't get a chance to see it yet. But I'm sure it looks cool. I did see some of the initial stuff. But yeah. So with that, I think we're caught up on the super chats. I don't know if anybody has that art handy, but
I can.
yeah, we can check that out. I was gonna say I figured you could. Thank you, Six. But yeah, other than that, was there any other stories I wanted to touch on? We'll check out that art.
I know maybe we could touch quickly on the already admitting to be unfaithful story of not Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, that's right. You were going to talk about that too. What's up with that now?
Oh, dude. So, basically, the people who are already working on the Sony movie of Kraven the Hunter, which, to be fair, even if they got Kraven right, he's not the type of character who needs a movie. But since here we are with this movie, he's gonna basically, instead of being the hunter of animals, he's gonna be a vegan. He is gonna be a lover of animals to suit modern sensibilities. And
So
I'm
he's not
just
going to be
like,
wearing a lion's head on his chest?
I have a feeling not. So yeah, obviously it's Aaron Taylor Johnson, and he's going to be an animal lover and a protector of the natural world, according to the actor. I know, right, Clubby? I was fucking flaming when I saw this shit. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is Kraven the Hunter, not Kraven the pacifist." No,
So
he's
not
not
Kraven.
Kraven. He's not Kraven.
Not the
This
Hunter.
is what the goddamn name of Kraven.
Kraven the vegan.
Vegans aren't pacifists.
Yeah, they're killing the very things that give us air.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And our dead bodies feed them.
I'm craving chicken and waffles.
I'm craving pork ribs.
Get it, Kraven?
It was terrible. All of that was terrible.
Wow.
All of it.
Yeah,
Well, that's
clearly
horrible,
this is,
dude.
and they're openly saying like that they're changing that from the comic on purpose. So like, if everyone ever says like, oh, they're being true, no, they're seeing it right up front. They want this to be about what they want because they know they can't put out a story on their own because they know what they did with their own original vegan whiny bitch, then they would fucking bomb. So they need to use someone else's IP that exists that has brand power because they don't care about that shit. These people are fucking creatively bankrupt. I cannot wait to skip this movie and never see this garbage again. I hope this shit bombs harder than Morbius.
Hell yeah, man. Look, they can't make villains anymore. They really can't.
No,
they don't make
think, oh, they're just misunderstood. There's no bad people. Fuck right off with that shit.
Isn't that okay?
He's
now
a bad guy.
I'm not as familiar with Kraven as I am with some of the other Spider-Man villains.
Okay,
but now isn't like his kind of history like he's got like a background, I'm sure, in like military or something like that. He's probably a hired assassin of some type, and I'm sure he's hunted every single,
Well, it's a sport for him.
He's a Russian who. He loves animals in the sense that he loves to hunt them.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I'm sure he's hunted every dangerous animal on the face of the earth. That's why he wants to hunt
he's
man
about big
now.
game, but he is also about preservation because he wants the game to hunt. Like, that's the other part, too. He doesn't kill recklessly. He goes after something specific. Like, if there's a wild rhinoceros in the area and it's tearing things up, he's like, oh, that's a challenge I'm going to do. And go after that. But if there's one just sitting there sleeping, drinking water out of a pond, he's not going to attack that.
No. But he was.
Well, this is what I was trying to say too. Is eventually he got to the point where, like,
It's all about the pursuit.
Yeah, weren't so much the thing anymore. He wanted to go after people now.
Well, it was the hunt, and the Spider-Man was the big challenge.
That was his grand prize. That was the grand.
Well, that's what I mean with superheroes becoming a thing. That would be a new challenge. Exactly. I can see that. Well, whatever. They already got him cast. I know Mrs. Flew was asking who was playing him. It's Aaron Taylor. Even though he played
Quicksilver
in this universe already once. Like,
see, it doesn't matter because, like I said about Morbius, the continuity is yes, it's not as far as continuity. We've already been down that road. It's like they don't understand characters. They clearly don't. And if anyone thought they had their hopes up of Sony getting it right, hey, maybe we had a great moment on Sony No Way Home, but it is right back to shit with Kraven. Granted, Morbius wasn't great either, and I should have never seen that, but I learned my lesson, and I will not be.
Morbius was glorious. What are you talking about? That's why it rhymes with glorious.
Kraven the
I will not
Hunter
allow
is
you
a
to
villain.
badmouth the best movie of 2022, sir.
He may not be the Green Goblin or Doc Ock in terms of recognition, but his significance to Spider-Man's history is very essential. Very essential.
They can put my quote on the box. Morbius rhymes with glorious for a reason.
And his motivations
best movie of 2022.
Of course. His motivations aren't the same kind of evil as other villains, but he's no pansy. I mean, this is a guy that tests himself against certain kinds of prey, and he conquered it all. Then he sees this, and of course, in the original story, he got brought in by someone, but that's beside the point. He sees Spider-Man as a big challenge, and that's what it's motivated now by taking Spider-Man. And read the comic, one of his best stories, The Hunt. Even though it has the black costume.
Oh, Kraven's Last Hunt. Yeah, that was the crossover, the six issue series where it crossed over Amazing, Spectacular, and was it just Spider-Man or was it Web of Spider-Man? I can't remember. It was
the regular titles at the time, late 80s.
Yeah. Love the shit. I love that story. And it's also not just a great Kraven story, but it's also a great story about Peter and Mary Jane as well. That's what I also get out of it too. It's a great Peter and Mary Jane story because of how much they truly love each other and how much they're away from each other because of the damage Kraven did. Yeah, it's absolutely essential storyline I'm messing up my English.
So this
It's
movie
absolutely
is
essential storytelling.
This movie is his. It's not like him in a Spider-Man villain. It's just all about him.
No, it's a Kraven movie.
All right, these standalone so-called villain movies have to stop. They're not.
They do. They don't. Like, Claudia, I know you and we're in the minority on the existence of, well, Joker's movie, but yeah, we need heroism, actual heroism movies, and we're not gonna get that with like what is Kraven supposed to win and then humanity's doomed at the end of the movie.
Nobody's gonna watch this.
I hope so. I'm not. I'm
This.
literally gonna skip that. You can quote me on that shit. Clip it right now. I'm skipping this. And yes, Willie Wood confirmed it was what was Spider-Man. Thank you.
Yeah, it was the regular titles at the time, whichever they were. And yeah, nobody's gonna watch this. It's be like Morbius. No one's gonna care.
And with that, 6 has got the photos, I think, of the Rohirrim.
Yeah, that took way
Awesome
too fucking
sauce.
long. But
I'm so sorry,
I can't get the
Six. Thank you, though.
pictures no, that's okay. I can't get the pictures to go bigger, and then other articles.
Oh,
where I
yeah,
can
they're
make the picture Go
tiny.
bigger.
Yeah.
It only has one picture, so
Yeah, I've seen the one already. These other two look neat, but they are tiny.
I'm
this is from
surprised.
6 days ago.
I'm surprised because 6, you usually make things get bigger. So.
Oh. I need a bow
I'm gonna
chicka
cry
wow wow
myself to
button.
sleep in it.
Anyways,
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah, exactly. I need one of those. Yeah, these are the pictures here. You can barely see them.
Yeah.
See if I can. If bigger, I just make. They're just going to get digitized.
Tom's
so.
not good at making things bigger.
No, I'm not. I'm not good
no.
at making things bigger.
6 is good at making things bigger.
But here's the art I've already seen from before. But all right. Well, thank you for that 6. Even though you can't find any larger
That's
ones.
kind of a fucking A. Sorry,
What was that? Oh,
it's my first
Porn.
day.
I like porn. All right. Thank you for that. That's the best she could do. Appreciate that though. But I do have some news. Our special guest tomorrow morning finally confirmed, so I know I can say this. Nobody knows this but Andre yet, actually.
Uh-oh.
We're having on the morning show tomorrow Adam Krigler himself.
nice.
Yeah,
Dude, he's a good dude. Hell yeah.
He is a very good dude.
right. Yeah.
He's got great
How do you
coffee
think for me,
too.
Tom?
Make sure you talk about his coffee.
I wanted to make sure before I told you the news. You know, kind of like telling somebody you're pregnant. You just kind of want to wait till you know for sure. And
Whoa. Don't ever feel like you have to tell me you're pregnant. That would be
Well.
weird.
I might have to.
What?
I might have to.
No.
Well, you are the father.
No, I'm not.
I asked Maury, and he said it's true.
No.
Maury Povich?
Yeah, of course. What other Maury is there?
I don't know.
Like, is there another one? Zach says, with $5 thank you so much for that, Zach. You didn't have to do that. Says, thanks for showing the video. Well, thanks, 6. She brought it to our attention, and he's glad we liked it. Well, like I said, it sounds a lot like the conversations we have with a lot of them nowadays. You can insert Disney in there, or any of them for that matter, it seems like. But thank you for that, guys. We appreciate it. And with that, was there any more stuff to talk about here? What do you got? What?
I am big into those pictures.
You did?
Because of the
You rubbed them the right way?
You're big in those pictures?
My mind's telling me no,
There.
Oh,
but my body's telling me yes. Well, I have that one actually in pretty high resolution already.
And then there's this one.
Yeah, it looks about the same as it did when I zoomed in on it.
Okay.
but isn't that concept art?
Yeah, this is
That's
just
not
concept art, I
from
think.
the-
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It is supposed to be animated, but yeah, I don't know if
All right,
that's...
well then fuck it. I'm done. Right,
we love you, just the same culture.
Oh,
Thanks
fuck.
for making it big, culture.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He still got it. He can still
He
get
still
it, make
got
it big.
Even though
You
he's
can
in
make it
black and
big.
white.
Make it big.
Hey, look. It don't matter
Time,
if you're black or white.
I'm making
There. Now I'm in living color.
Are you though?
You can do what you want to do in living
Culture's
color.
like, I'm gonna do all these upgrades to my studio, but when you look at me when I'm live streaming with other people, the background's gonna be black, and I'm gonna wear a black shirt with the black logo and a black chair. Good job.
You're going to blend in with the background.
All right. What do you want? What do you want?
Hello, darkness, my old. Wait.
Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
I thought you were gonna light your lighter, Tom.
Yeah, right.
Did I look sad enough for everybody?
I was ready for him to like get his phone out and wave it like he's in the crowd at his show or something. Oh, also, you guys were mentioning yesterday on Midnight's Edge how Lightyear is obviously already due. It's failing even harder now because 2 days in a row, it's already back behind Top Gun again. Not just Sunday opening week, but now even on regular old Monday. Top Gun is beating Lightyear again. So Lightyear it's officially going to be a thing of the past in a few days. So that is, well, that's karma for everyone involved.
25 days in the theater, Nick, and it crossed $900 million.
I know. It hasn't even been a full month yet. And because I was looking at the exact days, because it's like, okay, so it's around 25 days and it's over 900 million. It's going to hit, like, at least even when the stateside alone, it's going to hit 500. And I'm like, holy crap, it's going to hit 500 alone stateside. That's insane. In like the next, 4 or 5 days? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, easily, and let me tell you why. Because Valiant informed us, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, that it's going to hit Korean theaters this weekend.
I think it just did.
And it was placed second in the UK over the weekend, I guess he said. And Monday it pulled ahead of Lightyear.
Lightyear.
So don't be surprised if this weekend it ends with Jurassic World, Top Gun at number 2, and Lightyear falling down to third or fourth place.
Yeah, and then right around the corner we've got Minions, and
that comes the week after. Yep.
Thor Cucking Blunder.
Oh yeah, well, and Joey mentioned, Top Gun will definitely benefit from the July 4th weekend because it benefited obviously from Father's Day too, so that's good. And yeah, the Minions is gonna be huge. Like my children are looking for the Minions. Hell, I'm looking for the new Minions, so I'm gonna see that.
Well, like I said, when I went and saw Jurassic World in the theater, it was almost half kids.
Oh yeah,
in that 7 to 10, 11-year-old probably range.
Mm-hmm.
And they were silent during the Lightyear trailer, but as soon as that Minions trailer fired up, they were giggling and laughing and clapping and all that kind of stuff. So, Snowdub Live is in the house. How you doing, Snow? And says Snow Kid and I are watching. Snow Kid says hi. Well, hopefully this has been a little bit more family-oriented episode than we normally do here on Mead. And as Captain Cat says, to Mead and beyond. Well, so far, all we've had to do is find the clavicle or whatever the fuck it was you were talking about earlier.
The cloaca.
Cloaca, yeah. I don't remember what the fuck it was called. The Croatia? What?
The Croatia. Nice. Yeah, you know what? I think Valiant's right. I think I look a little small.
You do look a little small, but now you're like, here, we got to move you.
And big and
we'll put you in the center square. You're Paul Lynn tonight.
Hey,
everything's amazing.
It's gonna be a crazy night. Oh.
So, are you gonna watch the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi 6?
Oh, that's tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tonight. I've not watched one episode. I just want to know where she's at.
Your sounds aren't working. I kind of heard the what the fuck.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Hey, by the way, Disney is down 1.1% again today to 93.29.
Maybe because that movie bombed.
Well, lots of things bonged today.
Bonged.
Miss Marvel's hurting too. Yeah, it's a no one. Miss Marvel's hurting too. And here's the thing. All right, so I usually think I get a fairly good gauge of, I guess you could say, what the normie atmosphere is like as far as shows. So I didn't even finish Moon Knight. I stopped after the third episode. I know, right? But at my place of work, there's a lot of big fans of the Marvel shows. a lot of people didn't even know Miss Marvel was out yet. A lot of them were all talking about Moon Knight. A lot of them kept asking me about it, even though like I did not like what I was saying, and they're all over the moon about it. A lot of people don't even know Miss Marvel is out. So it seems like for the few that do, it just seems like there's a general lack of interest. So I think it's far more than just the message being involved in the show. I just think it's just people are just not interested. The same thing with Lightyear, and people just don't want to see this. Like there will be people who are going to see Love and Thunder, which I will not, but there's going to be the people who do it. But Miss Marvel, I think people just don't care. It has nothing to do with my racism. It has nothing to do with the lesser known character. People just don't care about Miss Marvel.
Which is unfortunate because it's actually a pretty decently written show.
Mm-hmm. Is it? I've not watched it.
I mean, it's the family of Kamala sells it because they're actually really well defined and written characters. But Kamala's got this type of Spider-Man perspective where it's different in a way where Spider-Man, Peter Parker, everybody's crapping on him and he gets nothing out of it. But with this, nobody's really crapping on her, but everybody's giving her everything. So she hasn't had that sense to earn anything yet. But in the second episode, they actually did her first official save. And it was really well staged and there's stakes and you felt for what was going on. So like, it's really weird. Like this show is way better than that first comic of her introduction. But it's got a big undertaking because her reason for being a hero is just out of like fandom, and she has to be hit hard with like the concept of the responsibility of what that entails. And it's also got a little bit of a Cinderella, not with Cinderella, Wizard of Oz type of thing going on with it. Where the bracelet is kind of like the ruby slippers, and you can tell that there's some other being that wants it. And overall, I would say it's surprisingly better than you'd expect it to be. But the fact of the matter is Marvel has burned a lot of bridges by not giving any justice to the characters on their other TV shows.
Of course they're going to put more love in this one script. Think about it. You got Sana Amanat who's involved, and it's clear they've been really trying hard to like push this character because they replaced Hawkeye in the Avengers game for her. They try to like make her a member of the Avengers in the comic book. So obviously they're really committed to trying to like make Kamala Khan a thing, like a prominent, like I guess Marvel character to pay attention to. And I don't want to say like it bombed, but when the initial run came out back in 14-15, like I read the first few issues and I didn't hate it. I was just kind of like, didn't really like it. It was just kind of there for me. But then the all new, all different run came out, and I'm like, whoa, this is a real giant pile of huge shit after that. And I was just like, wow, now this actually is terrible. And it was, like you say, it did have some Spider-Man-ish elements, but obviously with a teenage girl who's Muslim. Like it was more like a slice of life story, but then it became full on, well, all the buzz terms we all love to say. It became all those things. Unlike Carol Danvers, they went the book, yeah. Yeah, it started off as like a slice of life. Like I said, I wasn't wild about it, but I didn't really hate it either. It was just kind of there. But then when they went all new, all different, I'm like, I guess I'll give it a shot again. Then I'm like, whoa, now this is downright terrible.
And they brought it out right at the same time as Obi-Wan. And actually, this reminds me of the other story I wanted to talk about. And this is actually kind of just my own personal point of view. So we'll get into that here quick. I just want to welcome Captain Cat as a new member. Thank you so much. I think it was a maximum effort puppy, so we'll give you a maximum effort puppy there. Thank you so much for that. And speaking of members, we had a member chat from Willie Woodward who says, hey chat, hey panel, much love. Being a boomer and a lazy ass, who's this Adam guy appearing on Midnight's Edge in the morning tomorrow? Also, Kraven could be good, but not as an animal lover. Well, just look up Adam Krigler on Twitter or YouTube, and I'm sure you'll find out he's a commentator himself, and he's constantly getting taken down by YouTube for some reason. And he got another strike again. So that's what he said to me earlier. He's like, sorry, I haven't gotten back to you, but so we'll talk about that, I think, tomorrow morning. But I just wanted to make sure he was going to be there before I announced it. yeah, he's been around on a few other channels as well, and hopefully you'll enjoy him on the morning show tomorrow. But yeah, this other thing I wanted to talk about is I was taking a look at what movies were coming up, because that's kind of part of the job, right? It's like, oh, so what do we got coming up for this summer season? There is absolutely nothing after Thor, basically, that is really worth talking about or discussing as far as a big summer tentpole movie coming after that. In fact, the next movie after Thor that is kind of a big release is the re-release of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Re-release?
Yeah, they're doing a more fun edition. It's an extended cut. So
money grab.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. At this point, though, I thought it was funny considering a lot of the films that they should have held off, I think, till now. Honestly, as much as I loved seeing Ghostbusters last year, I think they should have held it. There's a few other movies that could be dropping here in the next month or so that probably could have made a hell of a lot more money. In fact, earlier on Culture's channel, this is what kind of spawned this idea, was we were talking about how differently Dune could have played out had it come out now instead, or like a couple weeks from now, as opposed to last winter. And I'm curious how you guys feel about that, because really, once Minions and Thor and Stolen Thunder come out, there is no real big tentpole films unless I'm forgetting about something. Elvis drops this weekend, and that's about it. Otherwise,
wow.
I mean, you bring up a good point. I mean, you had multiple opportunities for certain films to just be bangers, right? And I think we landed on Dune being the one that really missed out from not being like dropped in July, right after Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, outside of maybe the re-release of Spider-Man, I don't see anything until we get to Christmas.
That's what I mean. It's a big. I think Halloween. I think there's a few things that aren't on there that do come out. I think Halloween 3 comes out this fall. Or is that not till next year? Oh, who do we lose?
Halloween 3, I think.
We just lost Mike.
Mikey.
He
Mikey had to go on.
Okay.
No problem. All right. Thanks, Mike. Anyway, you're saying sorry. I think it was Clobby or somebody was saying
Culture. I
something.
thought it was Culture.
Was it Culture?
I was kind of wrapped up. I mean, I was leaving it to the rest of y'all. I don't know that there was a lot out there after
not anything major high profile. Obviously, there's nothing from. I mean, there's that Black Adam movie, but has anyone talked about that?
Not really.
Mm-mm.
When does that
not
drop?
even watched the trailer for that.
Isn't that closer to the end of the year?
I was gonna say, when does that? That was like, is that October or November?
Right now.
Yeah, and I thought Halloween ends is this October, so that's going to be a bigger release.
October.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, October 2022. So they got a 3-month gap. I mean, unless you count No Way Home's re-release, I don't really count.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a 3-month gap without a big budget movie. Which,
And that's the thing is, No Way Home re-release is coming out at the ass end of summer, where you dump the trash, basically.
Yeah, but it's extended. But it's an extended release, so I mean, people. People will get
Did
excited.
they do that with Endgame?
Yeah, they did that.
I don't think it was extended, but they re-released it, didn't they?
I think it was like
added some stuff.
2 minutes longer, something not extensive. Yeah.
But if you're James Cameron right now, you're salivating, because this is your opportunity to throw Avatar into the theaters one more time.
But he's doing it just before the second one comes out.
Oh man, he should do it like a few.
Yeah, that's already on the cards. Culture. I guess you missed that story. He remastered it in 4K, and it's coming out in 4K Blu-ray and a theatrical release just before the second one again.
Yeah.
Grand Admiral Adam. I forgot about the DC Super Pets. Thank you for reminding me of that one.
Yeah.
But that also comes.
Bullet Train, but that's a mid-budget. That's not even a big
Bullet
budget.
Train. But that's the one that's not attached to a franchise,
right?
And it's got Brad Pitt in it, and it actually looks pretty good. Yeah. I can see that being a bit of a sleeper hit, if they catch the right audience.
Yeah.
But when does that come out? Does that come out before or after Thor?
Holy crap! Wakanda Forever is this fall.
Yeah, that comes out this fall too. If they don't move it again.
They're moving that one. You can tell you right now, because they still don't know what they're doing. They're still messing around with Namor.
Yeah, and then Avatar comes back in September. Culture.
Wow, Black Panther.
That makes sense.
Totally forgot about that.
Because I'd give it a 2-month gap before that sequel releases, so people get re-familiarized with it, and then.
Well, that gives them enough time to release it in theaters, release it on video.
Yep.
And then you got.
And then you got the sequel,
the build up.
I don't know. I don't know that that's going to perform. I don't know that Black Adam's going to rock the box. I don't.
That's a good question. I'm curious how people feel about Elvis because it could go two ways. Ken Jackman, Cameron Pasha seems to think that Elvis movie is a sleeper hit and going to introduce him to a whole nother generation.
Maybe.
I predicted it'll perform on the level of like the Elton John film.
Oh yeah, Rocket Man.
I don't think it's going to do nearly as good as Bohemian Rhapsody.
I don't think so either.
What do you guys think?
Mentioned that. I think it'll do around somewhere between 100 150 stateside. Now, that said, I actually thought the Elton John movie was far better done than the Queen movie, even though I'm a bigger fan of Queen. But that could just be the pickiness of Queen speaking me. So I'm gonna have a little bit more like hold them to a higher standard. But the Elton John flick to me is way better than the Queen flick. But I think this will do 100 150 stateside for Elvis.
Egerton, the kid that's in that, and he's in also the spoof spy thing, the Golden Circle or whatever it is, the Kingsman, right? Kingsman. Yeah, I really think that he's quite an action star along the lines of maybe Jason Statham in the making, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they craft something around him. And I know there's been a lot of speculation on who the next James Bond could be. I'm wondering if they try to steal him from that franchise.
I don't know. What do you think, Script? Are you still here? Are you hearing any buzz about Elvis if you are?
No, this is the first I've heard about Elvis in a while.
Yeah, see, I'm not so sure it's going to do.
It could be good because, again, people.
It's Baz Luhrmann.
Like biopics.
Yeah, and I think it. Like I said, I think it'll do about as well as Rocket Man, which I think did 200 stateside, and I think another 150 outside. I can't remember how much it was. I think it was close to 500.
I don't see that. I don't
know if it'll do that well though either. Yeah, but the only thing it's got going for it is Baz Luhrmann outside of the Elvis factor. Because we've had 50 movies about Elvis. That's the other thing is we didn't have a bunch of movies about Queen or Elton John before, right? And those are the more recent ones that I can compare it to.
So the thing that's going to carry that film is going to be Hanks?
Probably.
Well, that's a wild card.
The other thing is, like, it's not that we've had a lot of movies about Elvis. We've also had a lot of movies with Elvis. I mean, he was in tons. There's about 3 or 4 generations of Elvis oversaturation because he was the king. And
I agree.
The Kurt Russell one was really good.
That's what I mean too. I think Script is right too. It's not like Elvis hasn't had his time to reshine again.
The best Elvis movie, or in honor of Elvis movie, was 3,000 Miles to Graceland. I
do enjoy that movie, and it's a crime that it still hasn't gotten a Blu-ray release. But
it is.
That's neither here nor there outside of the Elvis factor.
I'm weird. But
I mean, that movie flopped. I mean, if you stop and think about it, what was the last successful movie that had anything to do with Elvis? What, not Leaving Las Vegas?
Bubba Hotep. Just kidding.
A Bubba Hotep. Well, that does have a cult following. It wasn't successful. It wasn't a big success, but it does have a cult following. But what's the one with the flying Elvises? The Honeymoon in Vegas. That's what I was trying to think of. I knew it was some Nicolas Cage film. Right. So, I mean, that's the last time I remember anything that had anything to do with Elvis being successful, because the Graceland movie you just mentioned didn't do well. Yeah. There was Elvis Meets Nixon. I do remember seeing that, but wasn't that just a straight to Amazon film?
It was, yeah, it was a streamer.
I've seen that. Wow.
It's all right. It's got Michael Shannon of all people playing Elvis, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, it's odd.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, Honeymoon in Vegas. I knew I got it right there eventually. But I don't know. I might go see this Elvis movie. It just kind of depends. I'm not like dying to see it.
I mean, speaking of like Nick Cage and that, have any of you guys seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
Not yet, but it's in the way it's mail. It's on its way in the mail.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great shit about it so far. So.
Tom, you need to see Top Gun too before you see an Elvis movie.
See, I think his expectations might be too heightened. I'm worried he's gonna be like, oh, it was all right.
I was thinking about waiting for 4th of July.
He's going to be sitting in there beating off just like Culture was all 17 times that he saw it.
I'm not that big of a Tom Cruise fan.
There's nothing wrong.
But it does have Miles Teller in it.
Oh, he's great. Miles Teller.
And I think the beach scene is just as sexy in Maverick as the first one.
Does it take your breath away?
It's hotter. They get on the beach and they get wetter.
It's very, yeah, they do get wetter.
Did Elvis guest in Scooby-Doo? No, I think that's one of the few things he didn't. That would have been hilarious. You bunch of crazy kids. That's a talking dog. It's wild, man. Talk about a hound dog. Crying all the time. He actually cries. That's crazy.
Yeah, Kurt Russell was great, though.
Yeah.
I like that Elvis miniseries. Russell was excellent.
Yeah, I've got that. John Carpenter directed that. Believe it or not.
Yep.
But yeah, so we'll see how Elvis does this weekend. I don't think Elvis is going to make the dent.
No,
That's why I said, here's my prediction for the weekend. I think it's going to be Jurassic World. Then I think Top Gun and Elvis are going to be neck and neck. And then Lightyear's going to fall to fourth place with like 15, 20 million. If that. That's my prediction.
That sounds about right.
I don't predict high marks for Lightyear at all. I think Disney may be going to have to come to grips with the fact that the American public does not trust them with family anymore. We talked about that with Andre a little bit. I think Disney's losing the trust of the American family.
Oh yeah, that's been pretty well documented. I think now. I think we're hitting that point where, especially Middle America's had enough. I think, and that's where the problem is. And we had this conversation on both Midnight's Edge in the Morning and your show earlier, Culture, a little bit. So I suggest you guys check that out if you want more on that. But I think we're going to start wrapping this up because Nick's got some Toxic Tuesday happening, and I got a video to edit. And if for those who may not be aware of what's coming up on this Toxic Tuesday, I'm going to bring in a special guest to tell you exactly what's going to be on Toxic Tuesday. One of my favorite movies of all time called Rocky IV, where Rocky gets beaten by Ivan Drago. And Ivan Drago single-handedly ends the Cold War. It's a very good film. It's my very favorite American film.
Great movie.
No, it's gonna be fun. I was rewatching it earlier, and I was bumping the soundtrack all morning. There's gonna definitely be a lot of talks about the soundtrack and how this movie is basically montage shitty, but it's still great even despite that. So, this movie hits so many emotions. I can't wait to talk about Rocky IV tonight. So yeah. If you're somehow someone who has never watched a Toxic Tuesday, tonight is a good opportunity to get started because you will come back for more. We're talking Rocky IV tonight, and it's going to be a blast talking about a great boxing flick. And, of course, it's Sylvester Stallone. I mean, what can you go wrong? And
he also kills your American hero, Apollo Creed, which is very sad for you. But I tell you, it must happen for peace.
No, it's gonna be great, guys. Come over. It's gonna be huge. So please,
I'm working on getting Rocky IV on Netflix.
Well,
don't forget to get your Netflix TV T-shirt as well on your shirt. Yes. Go, Ivan Drago. How come none of you guys ever correct him on that? He's convinced that Ivan won that fight. So.
Let him fantasize.
We'll let him live with that.
We got a couple of super chats here that did fly in. Let's see here. Start at the top here. What do you think of the Nope trailer? Nice to see Top Dollar from the Crow back in action. I have not seen the Nope trailer yet. I'll have to check that out. Is anybody here?
Wait, what does that have to do with the Crow?
It looks like some actor from the Crow's in it.
I
don't know. Wait.
I looked cruddy.
Wait. Did I see the trailer for this?
Oh, I saw.
Yes, I did. Nope, I did. Yes, I did. And I know the actor. He's like he's a quick bit of it. This is the one from what's his face, right? Key and Peele guy, Jordan Peele. Yeah.
Oh well.
The trailer was
consultant.
Oh my god, I love him.
No, not a Gremlins consultant. No.
Oh, I have to see this.
I remember seeing the trailer for this weekend. Yeah, it looks stupid. I don't like any of his movies. I hated the first one he did with what was it called? Guess Who? Yeah, it was good until about 2/3 into the movie, and it's like it goes into complete batshit craziness, and you're just like, okay. No, well, I could buy it up to that one point, and after that point, I can't buy it no more. It just totally loses me. But yeah, I did notice he was in that. Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot lately. I'm trying to remember the actor's name. Just Joe 47 says, I've heard movies now have to make 3 times their budget in order to make money. What? I always thought it was 2 times. Is this true? They have to triple. Yeah, actually, Joe, this is something.
It's been 3. Really?
Well, here's the thing.
3 for a number of years. I brought that up to you, Tom, like 2 years ago.
And I've been beating that drum for a while. This is something me and Odin have gotten into a few times. Because his math, he goes by the 2 times factor thing.
Yeah, and that would make sense if theaters didn't take as much as they did, and the international markets didn't rip off people that were.
Exactly, that's the problem. And not only that, people need to take into consideration what advertising costs are, and also what back end deals are. For instance, when I was looking up earlier to try and find out how much Jim Carrey made for Sonic the Hedgehog, I couldn't find the amount, but I did find out how much he made on the back end for Yes Man. That is his most lucrative deal of all time. He had almost a 50-50 deal with them. That movie made over 200-some million just in the U.S. alone. So he made a shit ton of money off that movie. I guess, well, the profit, whatever it be, so probably close to $25 million, I bet. $30 million maybe, 40 at the most, probably. But still, once you figure, because they got to factor in, again, they only get so much back out of that. Let's say you make $200 million. Well, right off the bat, a good chunk of that stays with the theaters. So then you only get to bring home so much. Well, then the other chunk goes back to whoever, the loans and stuff you made out for the movie itself. And if
plus
whatever
interest.
Plus interest and whatever percentages of certain producers and stuff that put in money, if they get a certain, whatever their amount is back that they put into the production and all that stuff. And then once that's all figured out, and then also depends on what kind of deals the actors have. If they have like a first dollar deal, gross deal, or net deal, or whatever, on their percentage kickback and all that kind of stuff. Like another great example is how much money Jack Nicholson's made off the original Batman. They have already estimated that in the $100 million range is how much he's made over the years.
And Tom Cruise is one of the last guys that gets first dollar.
Other than that, though, up until Jim Carrey was the highest paid actor until Johnny Depp got his $90 million payday for, what was it, Pirates 4 or 5? I can't remember which one.
It'd be 3 or 4.
It was one of them, but he got $90 million for it, and that was at that time that was fucking crazy insane. Because up before that, I think Jim Carrey had made 22 or 25 million for which one was it? It was either, I think it was Ace Ventura 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Nature Calls.
I was going to say, yeah, it was Nature Calls. Yep. He got an ungodly amount for that. Yeah. And he made 10 million for Dumb and Dumber. So that was in a matter of just like a year. He made a shit ton of money. So I'm sure he could quit. So when he talks about quitting movies, I believe him. He could. He probably has enough money. But as far as the 3 times their budget, yes, that's pretty much the way you have to go nowadays, especially with the amount of money they have to spend to advertise these big fucking movies. Because
international markets are they gouge the heck out of studios for advertising.
Yep.
Like because a lot of those markets they're no longer struggling economically anymore. They're like, oh yeah, we actually have a decent population. People want to go. Theaters are newly built. And if you want to get that screen, you got to pay more than the other guy. And that's pretty.
Well, another good example right now is France is fighting with Hollywood because they're bitching about the window closing because they want a longer theatrical window for their theater distributors over there.
They want a ridiculous period of time. That's
an example of what we're talking about, though.
Yeah, but no, and just Joe, I mean, you have to figure at least 2.5 times. 3 times is probably closer to the norm now. The reason being is the marketing costs. The marketing costs are exorbitant. Even a $5 to $10 million picture can cost $30 to $40 million in marketing sometimes.
Yep, and in about 5 to 6 years, it's going to be 4 times the budget in order.
Because advertisements getting even more stupid expensive,
and then the inflation process on top of that as well. So yeah,
that ain't helping.
No, it's not. It's going to be the point where the one of the reasons that $100 million movies are made quite often is because they always guarantee, or at least at the time, they had a better chance of guaranteeing to make that money back. But that's kind of being skewed again, and unless we can find a way to control costs and to control the value of the dollar and how far it can go, movie budgets are going to explode, marketing's going to explode, and we as the audience are going to have to be a bit more picky of what we go to see, because we're just not going to have the funds to invest in that.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of producers would just love to see these $200 million comic book movies go away.
Yeah.
Wild Man Beyond says, what do you think of Stranger Things Cobra Kai crossover, but only as animated features so it won't mess up canon continuity of the two shows? Oh, that could be fun. Why not? For like a kind of... It could poke fun at the old Karate Kid cartoon while at the same time like giving you that kind of like, oh, we're doing an 80s kind of like Saturday morning cartoon of Stranger Things at the same time. Like, I think you can make that work. I can see that as kind of a work.
With a one-off, a cool one-off. Yeah.
Like a one-season thing or 5 episodes or something like that just for fun, yeah. I think that'd be
I'll
good.
take all the Cobra Kai I can get my hands on.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for season 5.
I know, right? That comes out, what, September or October?
Mm-hmm.
Nikki D says, how likely will Top Gun Maverick make $1 billion worldwide? Well, we kind of mentioned this already, and yes, it is a good chance. Also, who has the coolest call sign in both films? Mine is Rooster.
Hangman.
Wow. Hangman? 6?
Bob.
Oh, yeah, true. How do you compete with Bob? Scripts got
Bob's
me.
the best one. Bill Pullman's kid, and yeah, it's the best one.
Oh,
I think
so
Iceman.
I was going to say Iceman's
I
probably
like
one of
Iceman, yeah.
But I'm more of a Maverick, so probably Maverick.
Yeah, we know you love your Maverick.
I know.
Especially in wet beach water.
Yeah.
Playing with balls.
Hey, look, Nikki
Playing with the boys.
Nikki D, this film's going to hit $1 billion. We were talking about it. I've now talked about the fact that it's going to hit $1 billion multiple times now. And once it's going to hit this Korean market, or is hitting the Korean market. It's going to get $40-50 million there all game. So
Culture will cash out his retirement in order to make sure it hits.
I might have to help out a little.
Does this
Yes,
mean you get to join them on the beach culture?
Hey, if I can make an appearance in Top Gun 3,
I can't believe there wasn't a Top Gun animated Saturday morning cartoon. Because there was a Karate Kid cartoon, yes, that's Peter Venkman. Actually, last I knew, you could, if you're in Canada or you have something like Surfshark, you can change your location. It was free up there for a while to watch on one of their cable network things.
Didn't last long though.
No, the show only lasted a year, and it had a batshit crazy premise. But believe it or not, that batshit crazy premise is pretty close to what they were thinking about doing for 3, and then changed their minds. But
wow.
Anyway,
by the way, will you go see Top Gun 3 with me, Tom?
Is there going to be a Top Gun 3?
In 35 years.
Yeah. If we're still alive, yes. Yes. Oh, we got 70s rock fan coming in right at the last minute. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, 70s?
Good evening, folks. I just thought I'd bomb in at the last minute and say hi. How you doing?
We're just getting close to wrapping up. ActionCom had a question for the panel, though. Would we eat an Elvis sandwich? I'm trying to remember what all is on it, because he said earlier. I know it's peanut butter and banana and
pickles. Is there pickles?
I can't remember if there's pickles on it or not. I know it's fried.
Jelly?
I think.
I thought it was peanut butter, banana, and jelly.
It's a fried banana sandwich.
Was it bacon?
So it's not Elvis in the sandwich.
No.
Okay.
No, this isn't it. This is not an Army Hammer thing. Yeah, this is not an Army Hammer thing. So.
Would you eat a toe?
No.
I don't.
Okay.
Depends whose toe it was.
My call sign is bacon. I didn't get to say what mine is. Mine be bacon. No, remind me again.
Pick your call sign. Someone else has to.
That's true. That's true. Mine would be something stupid, probably then. God damn it.
Would Nunchuckosaurus fit on a helmet?
No.
Yeah. How about? I think I would settle on Tom being pork chop.
Oh, fuck that.
Pork chop.
That's a typical. That's too. Yeah, there. I like that better. I was gonna say pork chop is too easy of a name for the fat kid.
How about
I'll
asshole,
be pork
since
chop.
that's what you named your cat?
I'll be pork chop. I'm half Puerto Rican, so you can call me.
Yeah, and you also got the mutton chop, like side, or what do you call them? Handlebar mustache.
Or Lemmy.
Yeah, you can't escape that, bro.
Slayer from Star Wars.
Well, since he's not going to answer me what's all in it, I think it's either bacon or pickles. I've had peanut butter and bananas before. Yeah,
that's delicious.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
And if he did answer, I missed it here, but I thought I'd been watching here. But yeah, I can't remember what all is in it besides the bananas and the
peanut
butter, and it's fried.
Have to know the ingredients.
I don't fry mine. I toast the bread, but yeah.
Need to know.
Daryl's call sign is Squatch. That's not a good thing. You're probably hairy then, Daryl. Yeah.
Daryl's bald.
Well, then why would he call it Squatch? My call sign is Curly. That I can see. That I can see. Hey, Mo.
What is it, Culture? What do you call him? Sexy man?
Oh, peanut butter, banana, and bacon.
Big sexy. Bacon. That's what you call him.
Big sexy. Yeah, he calls me
banana,
big sexy.
Bacon.
I'd have to try it. It probably would work.
Yeah.
Especially if you had
bacon goes
sweeter
with,
peanut butter.
Bacon goes with everything.
I was just gonna say bacon goes with everything. So, but then sometimes I have this like crisis where it's like, why should I put bacon on something? It's already perfect in and of itself.
Bacon wrapped bacon. I think
I'm just wasting the bacon. Yeah.
Bacon.
I saw a bacon wrapped tortilla for a taco, and I wanted to have the best heart attack of my life.
Okay, so here's what you do: you buy some peppered bacon, and you cook it up to just the crispy point, right? It's crispy. It's not soggy. Then you get some Hershey's syrup fresh out of the refrigerator, and you drizzle it all over the peppered bacon that you just cooked. Then you put it in the freezer on some wax paper. And in about an hour, you pull it out. That's heaven, right there.
That's how Culture eats when the boss is out of town.
That's actually true, because I can't get away with it otherwise.
Couldn't you put ice cream between two of those Culture? And
yeah,
an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah,
you could.
Have you ever? Oh yeah, and you have a bacon infused martini. That's good.
Ooh, interesting. I don't know about that, but here we go. Willie got it. He sends in $2 just to say this. Tom's call sign is,
"This is Congo. Come in, boys. Congo 1 here."
I think that works. Congo.
We've been trying to end for 35 minutes.
You were just
so we're halfway there.
You guys are just in Dallas. They have a beer and bacon festival in Dallas every year. Just beer and bacon.
All right. Well, check out Nick's channel in about an hour. Yeah. We're going to be hopefully talking some Rocky 4 over there. 6 has a channel. This Culture kind of has a channel. It does stuff. He has another channel where he shows you how to do stuff.
That's true.
Then there's Script Doctor. He's got a channel that sometimes he puts stuff on there, but he's been working a lot lately. So
he's busy.
So, but he played Ninja Turtles with me the other night. So.
I was watching you guys. He was the only one who didn't live stream it.
He was also the only competent one in the game at all.
That's what makes it fun, though, when you're not competent.
You should invite your members on, Tom, to play with.
Yeah, if I get some time, I might do some member TMNT streams.
VW was surprisingly good at the game, so.
I'm gonna finally buy my copy tonight before Toxic Tuesday, so that way the next time you guys are doing it, I will be around for it because I want to play a game a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna come, Tom.
Do not
trust me. Oh, it's already too late. You're too late.
He bought the blimp.
Baby,
dude, come on.
I know, right?
Oh,
it is such a cheap ass toy. They made us pay so much for it.
Well, when's somebody going to open it?
I know, right?
You don't take the toy out of the box.
I think I've got the classic one in a rubber.
Oh, I'm taking it out of the box.
No, mint in box.
No.
If it's a ship or an action figure, but if that's just a balloon, pop that fucker open.
I'm gonna pop that.
You could do an unboxing video, Nick.
Yeah,
that would be my call sign, Nick Blimp.
Also, check out Clobby's show. You got any shows coming up anytime soon, Clobby?
Oh, yeah, tomorrow night,
nights, right?
Wildcard Wednesday, then the Clubhouse with Raquel and Mark on Thursday night, and then Saturday night Star Trek. Well, oddly enough, on Saturday night. Next Monday, Mark and I are going to tackle the worst superhero movies of all time. We're going to actually count them down.
You might have to ask me to come on if you
Tom, you should come on. We're going to count them down 25 down, and I don't think 25 is not enough.
Remember, Morbius rhymes with glorious.
Does that include TV? Is that TV and movies?
No, sir. No, sir. Only movies. The thing is,
movies.
I thought 20 that I contacted Mark and I said, we better do 25. Now I need like 50, but we'll have to.
Where does Howard the Duck fall in there?
He's somewhere in the middle range. I've been in a lot of worse movies than knows that now.
All right. If you allow me, sir, I definitely will try and be there. Six.
Monday
Do you got
night
anything
you were invited?
coming up that I know? Well, I'll try and make that happen. Mondays are tough, but yeah.
I understand.
Oh wait, this next Monday I think I'm free actually.
Oh, cool.
Or the July. Is that 4th of July week?
June 27th.
Oh, then Retro Blastics Iconicon is coming up the week after
no.
that. And I'm doing a panel for them as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. 27th. I don't know. I might be busy. Depends on what time. But let me know. 6. Do you got any shows coming up you want to plug at all?
I don't, but like Valiant was celebrating that he hit 10,000 subs.
Yeah.
I am almost to 100 subs.
Ooh,
So
get over there and subscribe,
I'm
kids.
gonna post my link in the chat. Maybe I can get over that benchmark by July.
My summer slump is my gut, Putin.
And interestingly enough, Six should be plugging a live stream that she's prominently featured on, which is the late night culture stream. It's very late at night.
You are such an egomaniac. You know that culture.
He has the best fucking intro, though. Loki has an amazing intro too.
Yeah, Loki's got a great intro.
Culture's intro. It's so long.
That's what they say.
Your fancy intros.
I learned a lesson a long time ago because of Tom that I have to make the intro really long so he has a chance to make it into the stream.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time when you first started using that intro, and the show opened. And I think he said something like, "Jesus Christ, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes waiting for the show to start."
Only nerds show up on time.
That was the show.
That's why Johnny Depp is all like, "I show up an hour late." Like, yeah, isn't that expected? Like,
I'm a huge nerd.
But if he always shows up an hour late, don't you think that eventually they realize, oh wait, he's showing up on time?
That's right.
Nah, it's his time.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
I'm
is
always
that you
fashionably late.
tell him the call time's an hour before it actually is.
Well, see, the thing is, you don't realize he's
on time.
actually 2 or 3 hours late. That's the thing.
Yeah, but have you ever heard Tom throw a hissy fit when Andre starts Midnight's Edge in the morning without him?
Yes.
So funny.
Yeah.
Well, that's just because he don't know how to push the buttons.
Well, you tell me.
It is the most awkward.
For me.
Well, and usually that's the thing is when he goes live, it's like I just message him like I'm on my way. So like that's like 2 minutes and I'll be there. And what he never knows how to hit the buttons. So like it's the most awkward intro all the time.
It's fun though. It's fun. We ever get that?
You gotta show him where to put it, man.
I actually tried to run it. I tried to run it once while you were busy doing something else, Tom, and I felt like that was a disaster.
Mikey, he knows where the buttons are.
Great mod team though on Midnight's Edge.
Yeah.
Oh my God, best. And cultures.
Awesome.
Holy
They're the
crap.
best.
We'll get him a Timmy.
You know, I someday I'm going to get a Midnight's Edge shirt. Because
why don't you have one yet?
I don't know. Oh, I have several. I have like the Last Jedi's not canon.
You've got the Emperor's Turd, I hope.
That shirt is disturbing.
I wouldn't be able to leave my house in that.
It's made from the original bed linens, I believe.
I understand.
But I'm not. Yeah,
I could sleep in it. I'm gonna.
There is a Netflix T-shirt up now, though.
Netflix.
I should buy it. I'm gonna buy it. All right, I have to go because I have to heal my shoulder. So
what'd you do to your shoulder?
I went to sleep and
quit jerking off so much. Jesus Christ,
it's the wrong arm.
What'd you do to your shoulder? Oh, I went to sleep.
Okay, it's the wrong arm. He fell asleep jerking off.
Uses that arm for
He
other
cheated
people,
on
Tom.
his one arm with the other arm, so therefore.
Okay. He fell asleep. He was trying to numb it. You know, you ever heard of a stranger before?
Sometimes when sometimes when you need help lifting stuff, is you have to use both.
Oh, you're getting too old for that.
All right, righty. It's time. Lefty, you'll do.
And did everybody answer if they're going to eat the sandwich or not?
I've had the sandwich. Sure.
I think everybody said something.
Yeah,
so
I can have my bacon. I'll eat the rest.
I'll eat bacon.
Absent the pickles, I mean, yeah.
No, I don't see the pickles. You can't.
I've had a peanut butter pickle sandwich once.
So basically, to answer the question, I will have a peanut butter and banana sandwich, but that's as far as I'll go.
You know what I got in the mail the other day, Culture? The DVD of Johnny Dangerously.
Did you really?
Oh wow, great!
Oh, it's such a great movie.
It looks pretty good for a
back
DVD.
on there in the credits,
Yes,
or did they-
yes.
Oh, really?
I was so happy. I put it in. It's the first thing. It's like the song kicks on. I'm like, yes. Actually, Amazon had it for like $4. I don't know if it's still on sale or not.
Oh, I gotta go get it. Oh, I love
and it
that
looks
knife.
pretty good for a DVD. It looks fairly decent. I was kind of
run it-
surprised.
I can run it through a scaler and. put
Well,
it-
no, that's the plus side. Is it was probably planned for a Blu-ray. They just never got around to it because it came out later in DVD age. So
yeah, but still, man, that thing is
$4.99 on Amazon.
yeah, that's what it was when I paid
The
it.
rights
I'm
to
buying
that
it.
opening theme song.
Yeah, years and years on the video because that's what I had, Clobby. You're right. On the video, it doesn't have the theme song. Sucks.
It's so funny because I have like when I used to have the videotapes displayed, which I don't anymore. But you'd have Johnny Be Good, Johnny Dangerous, right next to each other. I was like, so great.
Yeah.
You know, and you forget how many films Tony Stark was in before he decided to go to jail for a while, and then become Iron Man.
Bastages.
God, dude.
Cocksuckers.
Fucking cocksuckers.
Fucking cocksuckers.
Dude, and Piscopo was brilliant.
Shouldn't hang me on a hook. My sister hung me on a hook once.
Once.
Bro, that's brutal.
All right. Yeah, quick buy it before Culture does. Oh, boy, can we do this just like we did with Congo? Can we sell them out? I really need to get that Amazon link done. Damn it. Speaking of that, reminds me, Mikey's not here, but if he's still listening, we got to have I was talking to Andre earlier. We got to have a meeting, buddy. Forgot to tell you that. Yeah.
We're having
There's
a meeting?
some things. Well, we got to get some stuff done financially. So, yeah.
Oh, for me?
No.
Oh.
For
For
me,
Midnight's Edge.
Oh. Okay, for me?
I want a raise.
Well, ME,
25% raise.
you can have a 25% raise.
5% of nothing.
Awesome.
Great.
Yes.
50. Take 50.
Nothing from nothing.
I
leaves
just want a
nothing.
5-cent raise.
You gotta have something.
If you
Take 50.
See, that's the thing is like we kind of we kind of stick with the 25% thing. That's kind of our thing. See.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
well-
can settle for more.
You guys have
See, I actually
always,
listened to the show, so
you guys have always been right.
You know what's funny is on the recent thing we got from what was it? Surf Shark, their Incogni thing. I said to Andre, I said, how the fuck didn't you argue with them and see if you couldn't get 25% off?
That's funny.
And he fucking laughed. He's like, next time I'll try. Said you almost have to. Just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's our thing. I mean, we practically created the meme. I mean,
It's your thing.
do what you want to
do
do.
what you want to do.
There you go. See?
I can't
J.J.
tell.
Abrams' own greed has allowed you to come up with the 25% different meme. That's pretty brilliant.
How come
know, I
Script
love
never
it.
sings?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Because he's
I can't
Canadian.
sing.
It's just Rush.
It's a proven fact. Canadians can't sing. Haven't you ever heard of fucking Celine Dion or Brian
Brian
Oh,
Adams?
she's amazing.
Eddie Lee.
It's an illusion.
I got my first real 6-string.
Johnny Mitchell.
Bought it at the 5-man dime.
That doesn't count. Anybody can sing that.
Fingers bled. Was the summer of '69.
right.
This is the problem.
Script Doctor's like, all right.
One of the pleasures of
we tried real hard.
All right.
one
I
of
need
the
to
pleasures
listen
of
to some
living in
Canadian
Canada.
metal.
You regularly get tours of small town hockey arenas by Brian Adams.
Oh shit.
What?
That's Jennifer Lopez.
the hell was that?
That's a real singer right there. It's Jennifer Lopez. With the
Is that
coffee
like
bud kisses.
2X.
I don't know. That's at regular speed.
Wow.
That's you guys have never seen that one? Taco flavored
Never.
kisses? Oh, that's a South Park. It's amazing.
South Park.
Yeah.
It's Mitch Carter.
Tacos are
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Oh man,
You guys are
so
missing out.
We're sitting in a fancy restaurant in Dallas with Salty Texas Sea and Purple Valkyrie and some
name
other
dropping culture.
and I do something really stupid, and because somebody said something similar to the old like radio promotions for like the monster trucks, and so I went Sunday, Jets versus funny cars. And I was as loud as I could possibly be because I had a glass of Pinot Gris, so Yeah,
boomer
I
drink.
was loud. Yeah, and
Vino Calypso.
the restaurant went silent.
So you should have done it again then.
Yeah.
I thought you were
what-
going to say that you farted.
No.
That would have been better.
He was going to come.
What, I look like Joe Biden?
I think people wanted to buy tickets, Culture. That was the thing. They were waiting for the ticket information.
Oh.
Oh Lord.
Sunday. Jets versus funny cars. Your ticket pays for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Aren't
did
the
that
Jets
out
a
loud.
football team?
What now? When you're a jet all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day.
Tom, why aren't you jumping in here?
Because
I don't.
He only
know
tries to
that
turn
one.
other people's streams into karaoke, not his
That's
own.
right. That's right.
I don't
We're
know
supposed
that
to be
song
gone
very
by
well.
now. I have like things to do.
I've never
and-
actually watched West Side Story.
What?
Culture has to poop. Let's go.
I have the soundtrack.
Culture, is it going to be a first down or is it going to be a blowout at the Super Bowl?
What?
Super Bowl.
He's going to kneel.
Also, so you got to kick a field goal?
Yay!
What?
He's going to get his tackle out, that's for sure.
Oh, fumble! And first
I have
down.
no idea what just happened.
Where's this all
Culture's the
going?
kind of man who puts his cup on first.
If anyone on here's going to know, sounds like Sixas and Clubby. They...
Oh my God, this show was a mistake.
You could have.
What was that? Sorry, Scripps.
You could have ended it.
Yeah, like a long time.
I'm about to right now.
Dr. Malcolm, but I think things are a little bit different than you and I had feared.
Yeah, I know. They're a lot worse.
Yeah, don't you see the